Hey, everybody. Can you hear me? Push yes if you can hear me. Y'all can hear me? I'm going to put my thing back on because I don't want nobody to see this information. These people information. Because last time they said I showed it. Okay, y'all can hear me? Okay. Okay, there's enough people in here. What we're going to do first is I'm going to tell y'all how shady, who Jesus, these people ass is. Everybody knew Montel was cheating but Melody. All their asses knew. What Coleslaw been saying, some of the things is true. Can we pray first? They say pray first. Dear Lord, I thank you for your grace and mercy. What I'm about to say, I don't want no one to take it at heart. You revealed this for a reason. I ask you to heal each and every one of our hearts and let us love on Mel and all the other Black women that's going through what Mel is going through. If it weren't for you, we don't know what we would do, Father, because you are the mighty one. You had the last say so. This information didn't drop in my lap for meanness. You meant for me to get it. You're a mighty good God, and I thank you each and every day. Amen. Let's get started. Whew. Everything I'm about to say is allegedly. It's my opinion. It's come secondhand information. It was dropped in my DM. I still have 20 more DMs that I need to go through that have been dropping the last 2 days. Tisha knew Montel was cheating. Kimmy knew, allegedly, Montel was cheating. Destiny knew, allegedly, that Montel was cheating. We know my soul and my reason knew. All of them knew, but they still sat at the table and broke bread with Melody. Yes. They're suing for $5 million. And they just had another lawsuit they just lost. All these people knew Montel was cheating, but they still said in her face, like they was her friend. Allegedly, I was told Kimmy was a side chick. She just don't want it to get out. If you notice, somebody told me, look back and see who brought Pookie's name up. Because see, Pookie blackmailing allegedly all of them to get ready to tell what's really going on. Wanda is the one that's putting Pookie and Maso and them is putting Pookie them up to keep on harassing Melody and Miss Van, allegedly. See, Wanda cousin, she a crook. Ain't nothing in her house she paid for, allegedly. Everything is stolen. Wanda don't work at no school. She do a cafeteria. Wanda work at a you ever seen something like a stock program? Like where low income children go for daycare and you pay like $12 or $5 for like a premium price. So she work at a place like that. She couldn't even get a job at the school system because she got a record so long. I'm trying to get those mug shots because they said that her record was longer than what Miss Titanic got, allegedly. Letitia's record is long as well. She has hands like Wanda. Wanda taught her those hands, allegedly. And that's not, Letitia don't act shy. Letitia act just like Wanda. Like I was telling the other people last night, that young lady got up there and talked. She was not lying. Everything she said, I did a research, and everybody in my DM said the same thing. And I had this information before that girl got on that show. I had this information like a week ago. Now I'm going to read another thing that I got. Somebody sent me. But I want to say this. This program is started by Pookie and Wanda, because your ass always got something to say about me. Scotts, thank Wanda. Scotts, thank Pookie, because he need to keep his mouth shut. And go tell Wanda that, because I know y'all in the chat. I don't give a damn. Just for you to know. Now go tell that. Go run back and tell that, because I know y'all in the chat with your nose and ass, because I'm going to block you out. And if y'all in here for Wanda, please push the like button and subscribe. Push that like button and leave your notification bell on so I can know when you're coming over here. Ring-a-ling-a-ding. I'm looking at this because somebody else sent me a DM. Hold up for a minute. Wanda, tell Wanda this. Her whole camp is turning against her. Okay, this is the first email that I got. Y'all listen to this closest now. All this is allegedly is coming from a second hand. She said, I wonder if Letitia She said, I wonder if Letitia going to have the same energy when she find out that Destiny been sleeping with Marcel. Allegedly. She said that Marceau did not go to Africa by himself. He went with somebody else. I told y'all that. I've been on that, allegedly. I've been on that. Thank y'all for the super chat. She said, I have all the information that everybody been looking for. And once I see what goes on at the reunion, I'm going to drop into you, Aunt Trina. Aunt Ann. Hold on, wait a minute. She said that was Marceau back in that picture. And Marceau and Montel allegedly did have a secret apartment because Marceau had a lot of apartment for Section 8. I don't know if this is a big secret they didn't want nobody to know, but she said, I wonder if Marceau know that Tisha allegedly set him up. I don't know what she mean about that. Then she said that Miss Wanda always act ghetto. That's how she act. She's not putting on no act. If she would have got to Melody, she would have hit Melody. But she said, thank God somebody else was there. That's how she fight. That scar on Wanda's mouth, somebody beat her up. They banked her, beat her up. That's how she got that scar on her mouth. All that mouth, she got somebody bust her right in it. Everybody been looking for that baby. That baby everybody looking for allegedly is in Atlanta. She said that girl is not going to come to. They pay her. Reason why she's not going to come to because she work with money. And she don't want no one to know that or either let the same thing happen to her as Coleslaw. Do y'all remember when that girl went off of Montel and said that had a baby? That girl won't lie. She was mad at Montel. She won't lie. Hold on, I'm trying to see how I can drop the link. I had to go back and drop the link. If anyone want to say anything, I dropped the link. You can hit on the link and come on up. Can y'all have something wrong with this? Did you get the link? Okay. Okay. Gloria.
Hello, Ann.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you this afternoon?
Okay, how you doing?
Good.
Girl,
Listening to you drop all this hot tea.
I'm trying to just a new system. I'm just working on it. I got like 20. Thank you for the super chat. Pookie. Yes, Pookie and Wanda. Nurse Life, yes. Thank you, baby. Pookie and Wanda. That's why he doing all that. I was trying to figure out what was going on, and I'm just like, people just been dropping. These people is upsetting Bessemer.
It sounds like they are.
Then I just got another mail saying that she sent her a lot of people here to look at my live. I do not care. Go tell her that. Tell her secrets out. She a maniac. And this has come from people who know them. Because see,
Wow.
Wanda used to stay in the project.
Mm-hmm.
Then they came across some money, they moved out. But that was her mom's place. And they said allegedly what was said that everything in there was stolen. All they do is steal, and Tisha do the same thing.
Wow. What's going to destroy Tisha is what you said about destiny. Oh my God.
I was like, wow.
I can see Destiny doing that, and Marcel as well, dude.
Is another part, but I'm not going to release it because I don't want to hurt nobody. But if they come from me, I'm going to release it. I have to say something in my chamber. I have one that they don't. That's I know that's what they don't want nobody to know. I know they don't want nobody to know that one.
Wow. I was thinking more or less Marcel and Wanda. Because Wanda always around him. So I was thinking it would have been Wanda. But yeah, I can see Destiny doing that.
And that's a show. Wanda love Marcel.
Huh.
Their plan was to take over, move Melody out, take over, but the plan didn't go like it was. They were trying to weigh her down. So they sent Pookie in. And that still ain't work. That's why they got Pookie. See, Pookie know about him too. See, Pookie is a cannon. And they trying to accommodate him and calm him down so he won't tell their business. But Pookie's on the edge. He gonna tell in a few minutes.
He sure is, because I watched the lives that he did yesterday with especially the lady Silver,
Yeah, I
not
like her.
Da
Yeah.
Silva. Yeah, I liked her. I enjoyed the show. But that got so crazy, it was ridiculous. I was like, what's wrong with this dude? Respectfully F her and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, what? But and then I also heard him saying he would mention negativity stuff about Mel. He even called Martell a liar. But when it came down to his brothers and teaching them and Destiny them, he didn't have anything to say. He said like Martell is a liar. He said something on that line right there, but he all of them lie, not just Martell.
These people, what got me was when she told me every last one of them knew. And guess who? I told y'all who was the ringleader, Maurice and Kimmy. The person said Kimmy is not Melody's friend.
Well, I kind of think Melody know that right now, but
Yeah.
what I want to know is what is it that Maurice have against Melody other than the 47 acres? I know that, but I'll be so glad when she hold it to him. She gonna get him. Mel gonna get him.
Hi.
Hi. Hi,
Hello.
Anne. How are you?
All right.
So, my tea that I have on Destiny, I had gotten some information from very, 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 very good source with receipts of her relationship with Martell.
Yep, I got. Yeah.
I when I spoke to her, I DM'd her, and I told her, I'm going to reveal what I have. She accused me of being the one that is spreading and leaking information in Huntsville. And she sent a cease and desist, basically. But I did explain to her that her cease and desist doesn't really mean anything to me because as a paralegal, I know the reasons for cease and desist. Unless you actually come for me, then your cease and desist is just that. You don't want me to talk. But she did have someone call me to tell me, what will happen if I go ahead with it. I also have Mark who FaceTime me every day. Every day. I think when Tay Talk had mentioned it on, I think it's the Silver's channel. That was me that she was talking to. I did reach out to Mel, and I don't want to really say. We'll talk off air what Mel wanted me to do, but he basically is breaking the gag order, breaking the cease and
Yes, I
desist.
got that too.
Yeah, he's breaking the cease and desist. And what I'm doing behind, it's not going to help Basement Billy.
But you're not lying about Destiny because I have the evidence as well that she did say this to her hairdresser. Allegedly. I have it on paper. So I know you're not lying. And I said that child said what I do is I do research. And when they said when you went up there on I think it was Chit Chat, when you went up there, I told him last night, I said she's not lying because the evidence that I got match everything you said.
I have
And this is
actual
somebody
text.
This is somebody I know you do. This is somebody in their camp who dropped that in my lap.
Yes. That's somebody in their camp. Yes. That dropped it. Yes.
Yep. Somebody in their camp that dropped it. Yep.
Yeah. So it's just crazy that all these things that they have on them, and knowing that we do have them, that they're not just because if they're not worried about it, they don't really care about it. You know what I mean? It's just weird. But I am having an interview coming up with Mama Van. I will tell you guys the date over on my channel.
Okay.
And, I want you to be a part of that. So I will give you more details. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to drop that down into the comments. Okay.
All right. Thank
I
you.
am too. But before you leave, what's the name of your channel?
Yes. Announce
Oh,
your channel so we can all know. What
thank
is
you.
it?
It's Ebony. It's EBONY
Mm-hmm.
space
Uh-huh.
D as in David, BESS. So it's Ebony the Best.
Okay. Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you,
All right.
Aunt Ann.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You know what, and I had a feeling that everything, all that stuff that they was trying to do to Mel,
Mm-hmm.
eventually it was all gonna come back on them. But the way that it come back on them is gonna be much different than the way Mel got hers. Even though in our eyesight it was bad, there's gonna be at least 10 times worse than what Mel's was, because those people they just like evil people.
Yes, because they were dropping stuff in my DM left and right. And I was like, why are they dropping it to me? And these are people these are the people in the camp. They said because she talked about that baby, and they said we do not like it here. What she did to Mel. So she is wrong.
Wow. Well, Tisha got all that mouth. Tisha got all of that mouth, just like her mama. But let's see how she handle all of this when she discover all of this information that's getting, as she can say, if God want her to know, he gonna place it in her lap. When God places it in her lap, let's see how she handle this, and let's see if she can make it through it.
So why do you think that Destiny moved with them? Because they know that on her. So they told her, if you don't, we're gonna let her know what happened. That's why Destiny know that people been giving it to her. That's why she moved over there with them. And that's why she act like she act, because she knows she's wrong. But what got me, these people sitting in Melody's face and know good and well they knew this bastard was cheating, but no one could write her a note. No one could have put the note in the bottle and shipped it to her house. No one could have wrote on a toenail and gave it to her. No one wanted to do any of that.
Absolutely, but at the same time, I'm looking at Kimmy, even though she's going through, prayers up for her. But before we discovered all of this, Kimmy was reaching a point where she could tell that Maurice wasn't into her like that. He don't really care. He just like Marcel. He act like he don't like Kimmy either.
Exactly. Hold on, wait a minute. I got you on. Where she go at?
Hey, Ann.
Hey, how you doing?
This Mo.
How you doing, Mo?
Hey Mo,
Hey.
I remember you from Chit Chat the other night.
Yes, ma'am. I
How
love
you
her
doing
channel.
today?
Where
I'm
the other lady
good.
went at? What happened? I think she went back down.
Who?
How you doing today, Mo?
And first off, I want to say I love your channel, and God is
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
doing some amazing things for you. And I
thank
will,
you.
and I didn't mind coming up here,
Mm-hmm.
sharing and clarifying it, and we got your back on this one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for us, when you say what about the cafeteria,
Mm-hmm.
it is a local school. The JCCO, which she used to work for, is no longer existing. That's what she used to work for, the low income family, but
Okay.
it's no longer exists. But she do work in the cafeteria and the local elementary.
Okay. So how she get there? She got a record.
Through the back door, Miss Ann.
Mm-hmm.
They got a cook in the kitchen. Kung Fu Panda done made it in the kitchen.
Through the
So,
back door.
Mo, what you think about Destiny and Marcel?
Now I didn't hear about that. We heard the receipt that I had is that Destin was with Martell.
Mm.
Not Marceau. He covered it up for Martell, but Destiny and Martell had a thing back in the day.
This back in the day. But when they start hanging around again, where her cousin said that she messed with Marceau.
I can believe it. All
But
running
they say,
you know why?
I was say that.
That's why I call her Hoisha.
Yeah, I can believe it because I can believe it.
Y'all know they said they switch them off. They don't care. Those guys don't care. I had them my way. You have yours. They don't care.
Destiny is about money, and any way she can come up, and LeBaric, bless his heart, he kind of found out the hard way about her.
Yeah, he did. It's a shame, but I just didn't understand. All these people knew what Montel was doing, and they played Russian roulette with somebody else's life because disease don't have nobody name. SD don't have nobody name on it.
Right.
Because I need to clarify something too. Someone down there to check. Green, I think she's from Bessemer, Alabama too. She wanted to ask me what I knew what Brush Star was. I'm gonna let her know this. People from Bessemer know about Pie Shop, Jonesboro, Virginia Mine. I am D from Bessemer, sweetheart, and I do know Wanda.
Some Mod, block her out because she's from Wanda group. Delete her. Block her.
That's block her. Pipe Shop, all of the field. I am Medivh from Bessemer, and I know Green. Yeah, that's one of the crew.
Oh Lord.
Is any Mod in there? Did you block her?
And Bruce though, it's a newer club. It used to be the Downbeat back in the day.
Where's she at? I'm trying to find her. What number she was under? Is she at the bottom or up top? Y'all go ahead and talk. I'm trying to find her. She's coming for you, Wanda.
You ladies have any questions for me?
Yes.
So what do you know? What do you know about Maurice? Why he don't like Mel? What's up with him? Is what I need to know. Cause he always, even when Kimmy was going over from the show last week, talking about calling Mel the enemy. I don't like this dude. He too sneaky. He just like Mark.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, but Maurice, yeah, he's the sneaker one, but he's the main leader of the whole group. I don't know too much. I don't want to say that I know a lot about him because I really don't. Wanda, I know, and Tisha, and I know a lot about them.
Is Wanda still working at the school?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you say the other night that she had her food truck up and running?
No,
we haven't seen the food truck. No, I didn't say that. No, it's not up and running because she don't have a truck.
I didn't say you did.
No.
I said the other night, did you say that she had it up and running? I didn't say it as if, that she actually had it. I was just asking a question.
No, I didn't state that, but no, I'm sorry. No, she don't have a food truck, you all, and it's not up and running because she's working every day at the school.
So they're just on this TV show pretending to be more than what they really is, with all these lawsuits, that they got going on.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Ann is correct. They have like 5 lawsuits. One of them they did lose, and they got 4 more. Zen is one who's gonna get them because that's the biggest one.
Right. But you know what? They was talking about the amount of money that couples make on Love and Marriage Huntsville, with the amount of money that they making with 3 kids and all these lawsuits. They done hung their own self. Even with the $805,000 that Tisha borrowed, they don't even have that.
And I will rent a car.
It's true, but somebody don't cut y'all, but I got some information. Somebody just messaged and said that me and said my soul is getting ready to leave Tisha.
I can believe that.
But she got all that stuff, even though she got all that stuff in her name. That's why they didn't want to put. If y'all go back and look, I think it's the second about a comeback group I made. They did not want their name on that paper. They only wanted Kimmy and Tisha's name on that paper.
Right.
I thought they was building a house. I thought they was clearing land.
That's a bunch of BS.
Yesterday, somebody, Tisha had posted what it was like over there by the lot or whatever they calling it, and looked like they was like bombing something and something
Blowing up
big
trees and stuff.
or something. I guess the cage or something over there.
Yeah, they said it was clearing the land.
Okay, first of all, let me tell you about the Alabama law. If they are on the site where they have to use dynamite, if you're not a personnel or anyone in that construction, you're not allowed to be on that land. Anyone could pay anyone, what they paid those men just to say to come on camera with that BS. We all know that's not true. It's not true. And the cars that they have are leased.
Oh my goodness. Well, what about Carlos King said that in Instagram that he want the Scots to show 75% of what they're doing now and 25% more or less fighting.
Carlos Queen.
Say that again.
Want them to show business. Carlos say he want them to show 75% of business rather than all the fighting. Like it's gonna be such a good show, coming up.
You know what? I keep getting the feeling that Carlos is really setting them up. They think they have Carlos, especially Marcel thinks he has Carlos wrapped around his finger. Carlos is getting ready to flip on you because guess what? When it come down to my money and your money, who you think I'm going to choose? I'm going to choose me every time. So if that means I got to go against you, that's what's going to happen. And I think that Tisha and Marcel's not going to be on this show much longer. They're not going to, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know. That's what it looked like. Yeah, because Carlos been having all them people from Bravo on his show instead of having the people from Loving Marriage DC or even, anybody else. But he having Bravo people.
Yeah, but because Mel had a meeting with the higher ups on the OWN network. So we don't know what really happened with that. Carlos is in some kind of hot water.
Yeah.
Okay, hello everyone. I have two questions. The first question is for the lady from Bessemer. I know that on one of the shows, Miss Wanda said she had a spice, some spices called Showing Up Miss Wanda that's coming out. Have you seen any of that in the stores or anything, or her selling them?
No, ma'am. That just because if any spices coming out what she made, she gonna probably black labor, knowing her.
She just took some garlic, some pepper, and some salt and shit and call it show enough shit.
Okay, but she's not in the stores yet. Okay,
no, ma'am.
The other question I had, now I'm not sure if I heard this or not, but I think I heard that someone said Destiny was messing with both Marceau and Martell.
I knew about Martell. I didn't know about Marceau.
Somebody said that.
Yeah, I got the DM from Martell like a month ago. No, about 3 weeks ago. I got the DM about a week ago for Marceau. And it's a couple of days. They say, well, how would she feel if she know that he slept with Destiny?
Oh, so that's a question. That's not that they have any evidence that Destiny and Marceau actually had an affair.
No, she said, I would like to know how Tisha gonna feel when she find out that Marceau slept with Destiny.
Oh, ooh, that's ugly. So that may be a one-time thing, and then it sounds like she's saying when she finds out, that means that it did happen. It sounds like allegedly. Well, what I
A lot
wanted
of
to
people
say,
waiting like I was waiting after the reunion, but they're doing so much. I just say I'm gonna go ahead and get out to them now because they're doing so much, and Wanda got so much to say with that bubble lip of hers. She just always got something to say. Always want to put my name in her mouth. She ain't got enough yet.
wow. Oh, and then the other thing I wanted to say is about this Billy in the basement, or basement Billy, or Pookie. Oh, I saw 2 interviews that he did. He is basically, what he's saying is that he did not want to apologize. He saw nothing. Wait, basically what he's saying, I gather, is that he's mad because he felt like Miss Van lied about their relationship, and he don't like liars. But he is the biggest liar of all. That means he don't like himself. He sat there and lied the whole time during both of those interviews. He lied when he said that Miss Van was the one that bought it up. He was the one who mentioned her name first when he got on the podcast and told Kiowa that he dated Van. That came out of his mouth. That's the first time anyone ever found out, and I didn't know it until recently that he even said it. So he was the one that brought her name up. When she said that they didn't have they were not in a relationship, they were friends. He mad at her, basically saying that she lied about their relationship, and he's saying it hurt him. You know, this guy needs to go away. I don't even talking about it. He's going to keep on and keep on until he has a motive in mind, and whatever it is hurting someone else. For him, he's hurting a woman's reputation, trying to get himself whatever he wants to do, whether it's get on the show, get his podcast up, whatever his motive is. It's not that he claim that he's mad at this woman because she's lying. That is a cop-out. That is a lie, and he needs to go away with that. That is just outrageous what he told Gray Head Diva. One of those.
But do you know how they say he got on the show? They say he got on the show because he told Marceau, if you don't let me on this show, I'm going to tell everything I know. That was how this guy ended up on the show. They also said, they didn't, but also he said on one of his podcasts that I used to listen to, he said that Van was upset that he didn't choose her. He said that Van was a sister wife. So my question is, like the other guy, why is you mad?
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hey, Auntie Ann, this Sassy TV.
I know it's you. I want to thank everybody.
How you doing?
All right. I want to thank everybody for a super chat. I'm having problems posting it because this is a new system, so forgive me, y'all. Queen Sheba, thank you. I appreciate it, darling. And who else?
You guys. So with Basement Billy, he reached out to me, you guys. So in my chat, well, in my DM, and asked me why was I on his chat in his thing. I said, because you sent me a friend request. So I wanted to see what Crazy do on this time when he ain't on the show. You know. Yeah. But this thing with Destiny and Martell, I have heard this months and months ago. I got DMs on that as well. If you ever look at it, when they went to that wine tasting and Destiny actually found out the truth that him and Melnica slept together, her face looked like somebody threw pie in it.
Then she
her feelings was hurt. She was butthurt because she told everybody, no, he don't mess with her. Melnica's married. So was he?
Yeah, that's right. She was.
So what's the difference?
She said, well, did you hear the part where she said, I hope they didn't sleep together? Did you hear that?
Yeah, yeah. She was so hurt. She looked like she was about ready to cry. But Martell got all his hoes on that show trying to come against Mel. It's a shame.
Ain't it?
All of them. And Carlos Queen is his hoe too.
He got all them hoes. But guess what? He don't want nobody but Mel. He don't want
nobody but Mel.
He don't even.
And he messed that up.
Absolutely, but he don't want custody of the kids. The only
he just want to get up under Mel.
He wants custody of Melody. That's it.
That's
all he wants.
because he's so used to being a kept man, And Mel kept him clean, kept him with a roof over his head and a job. She gave him status. She gave him everything. And then when he went out there and messed with that old sloppy slow and messed up his whole life, I mean, what you expect to do and bring a whole nother human being in this world? You must be out your mind to think that I would stay with you after all that. No,
And she fought battles and everything.
Yes, Martell was a kept man. Now he's out on his own. He cannot function. He can't function.
Yeah, like he can't function.
Yeah, because
I have a question for the whole everybody. I've been looking at the show since day one, and I do know that Mel planned her divorce and all of that. But how was it that Mel? Well, I know, and she made it look so easy. How was it that she walked away with money and Martell walked away with nothing?
Well, Martell walked away with nothing because Martell owed the Scotts. Now, if you remember, Martell was sneaking money out of the account, and he would give it to Marceau to pay Sloppy Slow's bills. So whenever he didn't have money, Marceau would pay those bills for her. But he also had to pay Marceau back. So that's why they are so easy to get back together and so easy to be friends again, because each one of them owe each one of them. And Martell, he wasn't good with money. Mel kept that money flowing. Mel kept that money up. She knew exactly what was coming in that house and what was leaving that house. So that money that he was giving Marceau, he had to be careful, with it. And he was broke because the money, the allowance that he got, he gave it to Coleslaw. And it's sad.
Has Coleslaw left the area for real?
Child, I heard Coleslaw live with her mom, and she on what you call that, fans only for $4.99. Child over there twerking her little tail.
Goodness.
And she look old.
Old as dirt. I said, you let that one man bring you down 10 years. You look like you 42 instead of 32.
Yes.
How do y'all
But that's what she needs.
How do y'all think Martell feel after the reality has set in that I have lost everything?
He's sick
over some
He's sick.
So sick.
He's sick. He's a narcissist, though.
Yeah.
He's a narcissist.
Good evening,
so he's
ladies.
Hey. So my thing with Martell is he's sick right now. Even though he's a narcissist, he is somewhere slapping the air, beating himself in the head, saying, how could I have left? How could I gave up all this for 5 minutes of pleasure,
And every time he messed with that gal, that's what she was. She would tell everything that he did to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Just disgusting. It's disgusting. I mean, I know some immature women, but they don't put their business out there like that. The reason why she did that was to try to get to Mel. But what she failed to realize was Mel is a grown woman. That don't faze her. Because what he did to you, he already did to Mel. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't that's grown, that's little girl stuff. He married. He got to keep that woman satisfied at home, just like he got to keep you satisfied. The difference is he just treats you like a hoe that you are.
And see, she didn't understand the Roman business. She
didn't understand her role.
Somebody else fell down. What happened? It was somebody else up here. It was somebody else up here.
Oh, she said.
Oh, I don't know.
She said bye-bye.
Why she say bye-bye?
I mean, she left. I think she had to go.
Okay.
But
did y'all remember whenever Coleslaw was saying how afraid Martell was of going back, I think, to Terry Heights, where he was born and raised, or something like that? She said he was so fearful of going back
to stay out of it.
If Mel left Martell, he would lose everything, and he was afraid of going back to Terry Heights. Well, guess what? It looks like he's on his way back, and he's taking his friends with him. Marceau, Maurice, and the gang.
What happened
But
to
you
the
know,
young
they
lady?
say
I
Miss
had to ask her something. Oh, excuse me for a minute. What happened to the young lady who was up here? I had to ask her something.
oh,
I
she
don't
might have
know.
went back in the comment.
Okay.
But you know,
Okay.
Miss Marlene, they say she's so tired. She looked so bad working that night shift. She in the house, in the hospital, and she got the house up for sale. Martell ain't got nowhere to stay. He from hoe to house, a house to hoe, and like
I
old stray
said that.
dog.
And I know they
I
weren't gonna put
know.
Marlene back on that camera.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Is
She
Mo still up here?
Hello,
Mo.
ladies. I just would like to say
Hey.
something. Good
Hey,
evening.
good
Um,
evening.
Okay.
First of all, I want to give Auntie her roses and her orchids
Yes,
Oh,
on an
thank
interview that
you.
was well done. You know,
yes.
I just started back to work, and I always catch the tail end of everything. So I heard her say that she was going to be live tonight. Yesterday on another channel she was on, and I said, I don't care what I got to do when I get off work, everything gonna be done. Get my wine and settle down so I can hear what's the goings on in these streets are.
You got some
But
southern
anyway.
honey?
I just want to thank all everyone, YouTubers and YouTube's in this house right now because I appreciate y'all ladies. I'm telling you, these some strong ladies.
Always,
Um,
always,
I love
always.
y'all.
I just want to say this. You did a good job. So did all the other ladies. I watched them all, and everybody was good. And as far as what's going on with Martell and the gang and everybody, all of them are kicking themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Tisha
Yes, they
and
are.
Keisha and Destiny, they are so blind by their jealousy and by their enviness. They have
That's
so,
hate.
and and then I heard that little thing that Tisha did, but she was ready to fight. They don't understand when Mel says she leave to go and meditate, to go and refill. They don't understand God. They don't understand
They
the
Mm-hmm.
don't.
presence of
They
God,
don't.
and they don't understand that God' word is real. He said,
And
"Touch
it's
not my
not
anointed."
anointed.
Amen.
Yes.
And so
Amen.
when you put your tongue on one of God's children, they don't have to fight. Mel ain't never got to lift a finger. Sometimes you
Never.
do have to cut. Sometimes you do have to curse a person out to let them know I ain't what you think I am. But when God say go, and when God tell you to be quiet and be quiet and be still, because He said the battle is not yours. They ain't
Uh-huh.
fighting you. They
They
doing
fighting
what
him.
That's it. They doing what Ephesians say. They fighting in dark principalities in dark places. See that dress what Mel had at the reunion? That was the
Mm-hmm.
Honey, that
whole
was
armor of God.
the whole armor child.
That was the whole armor of God. There's not, God is gonna elevate Mel to the stratosphere. She gonna get so high she can't even look down at them. And see, that's
Mm.
what they fear. Because once Mel get to that next level, it's a wrap for all of them. And then in my big Frida voice, and if I could say this, Auntie Ann, if I can't, I am so sorry. She ain't come to play with you hoes. She ain't come to
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
play with y'all. And then from what
Mhm.
she said, and then
I
what
said,
she
what's the
said
day
from
of the day?
next season, and what's going to happen in next season, either you gonna show up to work or you ain't gonna have no job. Cause y'all,
Mm-hmm.
my bike is, I'm tired of pulling all the weight.
Well,
Either you go,
they all have fake jobs, and
and see,
except male.
she said
You
she was
see,
tired of that. So
yeah,
everybody,
Mm-hmm.
when you come to work, you better come telling me something. You better come telling me that you done started the foundation on that cave, what you trying to build.
child, they
You
tried to
better
blow
tell
up the
me
ground
something.
and couldn't do it.
You better
They
tell me
went up
Madonna
there,
is finally open for business. That's what you better tell me. You better tell
child.
me and tell me credit one that you finna use them lawyer license that you got using that law degree that Kimmy paid for. Somebody got to do something. Get out the kitchen or fry some chicken. You gotta have to do something. You gonna have to do
Well,
something.
I just
Hey,
feel like they're not going to do anything.
can we go back for a minute? Somebody was up here and they said that Martell mom house is up for sale.
Yes, and she works at the hospital in
The
housekeeping.
house of a sale. I didn't know
Yes.
that.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I thought
Yeah.
Martell was staying with his mom. So where they gonna stay?
Well, Martell was staying in some other place that was a rental for 6 months. If you guys go back and look when he was talking to Chris Fletcher, he was telling Chris,
Right.
"Look, my rental is about to be up. I need somewhere to go. I need to buy something." But
Yeah.
Martell don't have the credit. Martell had to file Chapter 13. If y'all
But
remember him going back talking to Maurice about getting his credit back so he can get his business back started. But Martell can't do anything because technically he has a federal crime on his record. So it's hard for him to do anything by himself. You
So
know,
well,
How can Maurice help Martell if Maurice and Marcel credit is bad? Can somebody
that's what
explain?
I'm trying to think. That's what I'm trying to. None of this makes sense because none of them have jobs. None
but
Right.
of
you
them.
know they're not using. But you know
They
what,
depend on
Maurice?
their wives. They
That's
depend
it,
on their
Maurice.
wives' credit and their
That's it.
wives'
That's it.
smartness. They don't
That's
depend on each other. They just using their credit
yeah.
lines and their ways to maneuver and do what they need to do. Just like them going up on that rough side of the mountain, blowing up rocks and holes and stuff. Went up there and put all that dynamite up there, and it still didn't blow up nothing. It's still the
But you
same.
but did you not hear Melody on her interviews? I don't know which lady it was that interviewed me, and she said this, that every time, and if you notice, and she said, and if you notice,
Oh, Jules,
everyone
hold up a
that
minute.
talked against me, you see what's happening with them now. So that's where touch
Exactly.
my anointed one come in. Nothing that they're going to do is going to ever work. She don't want
Prosper.
no
No.
apology. You know, and it says she done already told him. And the Bible tells you in Isaiah, no weapon formed against me shall
Yeah,
prosper. It
prosper.
did not
It
say
didn't
the
say
weapon
it
wouldn't
wasn't going to
form.
form. It just
He
won't
said
prosper.
wouldn't prosper. So you can form all the weapons you want against me, but ain't nothing you gonna do gonna prosper. And Mel had already said she is not. So see, we can allow people to block our blessings, and we can block our own blessings by
Own
being
blessings.
disobedient.
Exactly.
And see, Mel is not being disobedient. You see, when she said she was walking through that hotel and everybody, hey, Mel, what she did, Mel, just like a
Kept
horse
on
with
walking.
them blinders, she kept right on walking because she know these people. It done finally sunk in from listening to the YouTubers. Some of them are reliable, and some of them just ain't gonna tell the truth to save their life, you know.
No,
But she listened to who she listened to, and she done finally let it sunk in because she's not a dumb woman at all.
no.
It finally sunk in. Carlos ain't no good. One ain't no good. Ain't none of them no good.
Mm.
You know, and I don't ever like to say there's no good in a person because God say everything I made is good and very good.
Hold
But
up a
Right.
minute.
these
We're gonna
people
wait.
But
right
Hold up a
here,
minute. Hold up a minute. We're gonna wait till these people till they start pushing this like button. Chit chat. Thank you so much. Congratulations to 1K in the chat, and thank you for the
you
super
but
guys,
chat.
one thing I can say about Mel is never too high to come down low to help somebody. That's one
Mhm.
thing I can say about her. And she knows where she came from. She had to work for everything that she has.
Hey,
So,
Brown. How do you say your name? Brown skin or girl or brown sky?
No, brown skinned girls, right?
Brown skin girl. Oh, how
hey,
you
brown
doing,
skin
Alex?
girl.
Nice
Hi.
video.
Hey, everybody. This is my first time up here.
Hello.
Thank you. I've been sending your video around.
Oh,
Nice
really?
video.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I follow all of you ladies. You guys all do an awesome job. But I
Thank
just wanted
you.
to, oh, you're welcome. I just wanted to hop in and make a quick comment about, everyone's like perplexed about Maurice. And as we all know, when you're dealing with spiritual and wicked people,
Mhm.
um, there's there's a place, there's nothing new under the sun. So you can find everything in the Bible. So
Hmm.
I feel like this situation is like the book of Esther when the men went to the king and said because his wife, the queen, spoke out to him and was talking back, and so the men were like, you got to do something about this is why he got rid of her. And then that's when
Mm-hmm.
He got Esther as his wife. He did the petition for all the different women, and he ended up falling in love with Esther. So I feel like with Maurice, if you see how he does he plays the game of, oh, they're against us. He just plays a lot of games, and he plays quiet, but
Mm-hmm.
you see how much of a snake he really is. He tried to put in his head that it was the Holts against the Scots. And she was like, I don't see how you thought, like, I don't see that. And he's like, did you think they were on our side? And I'm just like, why does it have to be
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like
I told you he was the ringleader. I told y'all a long time ago. I said, y'all looking at the
Mm-hmm.
wrong person. I said, look how he's always trying to clean everybody mess up. And he always trying to turn people against Mel. If you watch it, when him and Kimmy was in that room, he said, so Mel can come, so you picked a side. Did you notice that?
Hey, but that's gonna destroy Tisha once she find out. Well, she might already, I'm not sure, but let's say she don't. Once she find out that Maurice is the mastermind and he knew that his brother been cheating on her, but every time something come about, she run to him crying. That's gonna kill her.
Let me say this about Tisha. Tisha knows everything that's going on with Marceau.
Exactly.
Everything. Tisha knows everything because from the beginning, when Marceau was with Tisha, she had said, if you go back to season 2, she said her original plan was not to get married. She did not want to get married. She did not want to have children. She wanted to pursue her career. But she ended up pregnant with their son, and they ended up getting married because regardless of what Wanda said, Wanda made them get married because she was pregnant. And after that, guess what happened? There was a contract. Marceau do what he do. She better not say nothing. She better not ask about nothing. He's going to do what he's going to do. And she agreed to it. And now they're in a mess. You cannot tell me that this woman don't know her husband isn't cheating on her. You can be naive. She is not stupid. She know Marceau has cheated on her. Her problem is when Kiki at the Bessemer Boogie Gang, when they was over the street down in the community center, they were down in that community center having a seance, and Kiki was getting ready to tell on Marceau, and Marceau jumped up so fast like the Holy Spirit got up in his feet. Honey, he got up in there and he was trying to shut Kiki up because Kiki know a lot because Tisha told Kiki. Tisha told Kiki.
And that's where Tisha problem come in with Mel. She is so envious and she is so blind by rage. The things that Mel are doing are the things that she wish she could do. These are the things that if she always say in her mind, if this hadn't happened, that wouldn't have happened. And I could have been just as much or as better than Mel. And it's like everything that Mel touches, it turns to, it's like she has the Midas touch. And that, and when people don't put their foot on your neck and then try to hold you down, but just like Maya Angelou said, still I rise. They can't understand that. They cannot understand how is this woman with 4 children ain't got no man? The joke of the whole city. Everybody know what happened, and she just walking around with her head not tooted up, but she's holding her head up like the regal queen.
And not only that,
she is. They don't understand that.
They don't understand it because they've been taught that a woman got to have a man. That's what Tisha has been taught. No matter it's better to have a little bit of a man than anything else. That's what her mama has taught her. And so she can't understand that, okay, this is a single woman with 4 children, multi-millionaire, very smart, intelligent, keeping that money pushing. She is moving, humble, and God has got her from the front to the back to the side to the other side, all around her. When you see that type of movement, and this is what your mother has limited you to be, that's your mama's fault.
Absolutely.
Then you're a grown woman. You should know better.
I'm gonna kind of disagree. I know that's if you raised that way, but see, when I was growing up, I used to hear my mom and my aunts and all this, and other women, say, and even when I was like a teenager and became a woman myself, and I would hear my peers say, "Well, a piece of man is better than no man," and I was always the odd person, because
So was I.
I'm an only child, and it just was some things I saw that I said when I get grown, I ain't taking that, and I ain't going for that.
Exactly.
And then I said when I heard one of my peers say, "Well, a piece of man is better," I said, "Girl, I don't want a piece of nothing but a piece of chicken, a piece of cake, and a piece of money. I
Exactly. If
don't
I
want
can't
no
have the
piece of
whole man,
man.
I don't want it.
If I don't want no piece of man,
No
so what
piece of
can a
a
piece of
man.
man do
Are
for me?"
people in between that can actually, like they say, take the meat and spit out the bones. But some people, they're so stuck on what they're taught. That was good that you had that mindset, because that's a good thing to have. Like, people underrated. Like, they don't. It's not like put up as much or celebrated as much. Having your own mindset to not just follow what someone tells you, just because it's ingrained in your
I'm gonna go
mind.
to
You,
bed.
you
I'm on live.
yeah. As far as it pertains to Melody and Tisha, her and for her isn't just about the money and just being able to succeed past the divorce, but it's also envy comes in many different forms. She's envious of how
Yes.
of her too. She's envious of how she can network and just she can articulate herself. That's another thing. She
Exactly.
still has insecurity. So when she sees Mel and Mel can articulate herself, she even said it a couple episodes ago. Because Mel, she be talking fast and messing with her words. She's just mad because she can't.
But
And she's
Tisha had to take
envious
all those
because
classes to
she
learn how to talk, you know,
she
and she still don't know how to talk. And
You,
she's mad because when Mel walks in a room, she
she
demands
holds it.
attention. And
but
she
Absolutely.
holds the attention. When Tisha walks in the room, they just look like, okay,
there,
next.
but Tisha do not have confidence in herself.
Confidence
You
in
know,
herself.
when a woman have confidence. For me, that is the most sexiest thing in the world. When I see a confident woman, it's not about
Yes.
how much you got or how little you have, but when you could have that confidence, you could don't have 5 pennies to make a whole nickel. But if you got
But
that confidence, people will think you got 5 pennies to make a whole nickel. Tisha don't have that. Her confidence was beaten out of her as a child. And then
her confidence.
and then
Um,
Her husband, Marceau, the
mm,
way he
mm, mm.
talked to her, and then, you just waiting to say, I don't like him talking to me like that. And I tell people who talk like that, girl, you better put some bass in your voice and put your
Uh-huh.
foot down.
And
But
she's envious of the way that Marceau looks at Mel.
oh yes, yes.
Yeah,
You
Oh,
he.
can't stand the man.
Marcel get like a little teenager when Mel come around. Honey, he get to jiggling and sweating and thumbing. Hey Mel. He wants Mel to talk to him so bad. And it's just about to drive him crazy.
Marceau look at Melody like a piece of red velvet cake. Good red
Yes, he just
velvet
want to put
cake.
his hand on it and eat it, child. He want to lick
Yes,
every
like a
finger.
with y'all with the buttercream frosting with the walnuts in it. That's how he look at Mel.
He do. He said homemade red baby, not the box kind, child.
Homemade, yes, yes.
Homemade, child.
That's how
He
that's how he and then when he look at Mel like that and Tisha looks at him looking at Mel like that, and then
woo,
that's another thing with like with Tisha, because as Kiki had said it a while back that with Tisha, she always it's not like she have to be the center of attention, but she sort of like to be the center of attention. And then when someone like a male comes along and that takes the attention off of her, she gets angry. Like she said, Tisha always had to have a boyfriend to feel validated. See,
yeah.
Marceau makes her feel validated. I've been married 14. And she like to say, I've been married, I don't know if it's 14 or
14
16.
years.
I've been married
16
14
years.
years. See, that
It's
validates her
16 years.
because male is separated. It's, you know what? She's a single woman and don't even know she's single.
Honey, it's better to have quantity than quality than quantity, honey. You got quality. You don't have quality. You may have the quantity, but the quality in that marriage is just not there. Point blank, period. Tisha is a little girl. She's a little girl with a lot of self issues. And she makes justification through her husband, and she hates male because male is everything that she aspires to be. And her mom, unfortunately, hadn't come into her life like a full-time mom until she was later on in life. Tisha's grandmother raised her pretty much. So it's just crazy to me how you let somebody just beat you down time and time, and then you got this little nervous laugh like it's funny. Marcel, no, that's not funny. You need to stand up to that man and let him know who you are, whose you are, and where you are. And without you, he has nothing. Nothing. And it's a sad thing. Everything is in her name. Everything.
Right. Hold up. Let me say something real quick. Now that lawsuit out of Dallas, Texas, that was filed against the company Scope, Marcel, they filed that lawsuit against him. He is responsible. It says Marcel Scott.
You know why?
Yes, it is against him. It's not against Scope. It's against him.
It's against him. Right. I can tell y'all why.
Yes, because he was the grantor.
What I'm saying, everything is not in Letitia's name. We know that's one thing that's not in her name. But the other thing is that Wanda know that Tisha is lacking in a lot of areas. I don't know, but like Mel says, see, Mel knew her from the beginning. Well, she didn't know it from the beginning, but she found out early on that Tisha liked to throw the rock and then hide her hands, like to play the victim. She would throw that stuff out there, and then she'll get you started, and then when you get on to her and get the best of her, then she cry, and then
she go get her mama. She go get her mama to fight the battles.
That's a little leprechaun pit bull.
Oh, okay, can I finish? Just let me finish my little point right here. So Tisha, but yeah, Tisha she's again jealous of Melody without a doubt. And y'all said that Marcel look at Melody like a piece of cake. Notice how he look at women, period. The man is like just a womanizer, period. And Tisha already know that. And that's another reason why she lacks confidence, because her husband don't give her the respect that she really need as a woman, but she won't demand it. And then she's always trying to take up for him, just like Kimmy. Kimmy and Maurice acts kind of like a mother-son type relationship.
I agree. Do anybody get the feeling that Wanda was an addict?
I don't think she was an addict, but I think she was a thief. I know. I think Wanda hung out. I think Wanda hung out in.
Wait a minute, y'all. One at a time. Allegedly, Wanda used to be an alcoholic.
Okay, I knew it was something with that mouth twisting.
If you guys look at, I don't mean to interrupt, I'm sorry, but if y'all look at Tisha and y'all look up fetal alcohol syndrome, she doesn't have any grooves in her upper lip. That's alcohol.
No.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And Martell as well. If you look at Martell, I say the same thing about Martell. That's why he goes from 0 to 100. He has no restraint because of that. If you look at Martell's lips, he has no grooves. Yeah. Martell got a lot. He exhibit a lot of actions, and it just, it's,
y'all look it up.
Did you guys listen to who was it? Wanda and Basement Billy when they were on?
Oh Lord, yes.
Okay. Now I don't think he called Wanda dumb, but he made Wanda feel like she was dumb, and that is that is what I'm not gonna call a woman dumb or stupid because I wasn't around her, but I know what she's portraying. So I can say she's, acting stupid and showing stupidity. So growing up, this is what Tisha saw. And see,
Mm,
as a good parent, like anybody in the chat or who's on this panel right now, if one of our kids had any kind of issue going on, I would focus on that. I wouldn't wait till you get to be an adult and have kids of your own to,
mm,
go to a speech therapy or whatever that is. That would
exactly.
have been taken care of in before elementary, before
But
elementary school. So when you get to be an adult, you can express yourself the way that you wanna express yourself. And teacher get frustrated when she can't express herself. And then
Mm-hmm.
just like someone on the panel say, it's so easy for Mel to just walk in a room, but she don't demand that attention. She commands that attention because when
Mm-hmm.
she walks in, it's like you could be talking. Do y'all remember that commercial? Like when E.F. Hutton speaks, everybody listen.
Girl
Sometimes
listens.
it's, Mel walks into the room and she don't even have to say anything. It's just her radiance. It's
yeah,
just this uh, aura that she sits on. It's like insects, it's an aura that they send off to the other species and stuff like that. Is
It's
that's
like an
what they're
aphrodisiac.
Yes, and see,
Yeah.
she could go up, and Mel has a little flirtiness about her, and you
Mm-hmm.
first they were calling her bougie, but I have a friend and she would tell when guys want to meet me and want to talk to me and stuff. She would say, you know what, she mean, she bougie, and she real mean. So when the guys talk to me after she done said that, and they say, well, she said that you so bougie and you so mean. I say, look, there's a way that I carry myself, and the meanness. I'm not mean, but I am forward. I'm not going to allow you to say anything to me, and I'm not going to allow anyone to disrespect me. Now, if that's being mean, I guess I am mean. And bougie, what you could do for me, I can do for myself, but I like for you to do that for me also. So there's nothing
Amen.
bougie about me. There's nothing mean about me. I demand respect. I demand respect because I'm going to give you that respect, and I demand that respect back. I was taught that as a child. So I'm not going to be walked over. I'm not going to be talked over. And I see the way Mel was raised, and she even said whatever she was interested in, her mom would fulfill that need for her. Okay, if it fails, it fails. You gave it a try. But see, that's not what Tisha had. That's not what Destiny had. So they don't understand the level of Mel been working since she was 15. She was working in a bank.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
why wouldn't she
Tisha
know
was
how?
always looked over. Tisha was always looked
Yes,
over her whole life. Her always
yes,
pushed to the
Mm-hmm.
side, pushed to
yes.
the back. So Tisha,
Yep.
instead of being mad at Mel in the beginning, first season, I thought Tisha was gonna win because she got up under Mel's wing. Mel was trying to show her
Exactly.
how to operate in her independence, but she
Yes.
let Marceau and Maurice, and if y'all remember, Kimmy was the only one really envious of Mel, calling her bougie. Tisha didn't
Mm-hmm.
even know what bougie meant. That
Who's you
came
was?
from Kimmy. That came from
Mm-hmm.
Kimmy. Tisha was like, don't say that. She's really smart. She's really nice. But when it was all said and done, if Tisha would have stayed under Mel, it would have been Tisha and Mel getting a divorce from those losing husbands. What Maurice was paying attention to everybody in town, but his
Mm-hmm.
wife and his son running around town getting high. Kimmy was stupid. She was old, wanted a husband, never been married, never been validated herself
Mm-hmm.
either. She got
Settling.
what Maurice and all the Scott men wanted was just women they could lay up with, including their wives. Everything you see
And use
Maurice
their
say about
credit.
Kimmy is about her behind. Everything
Mm-hmm.
Marceau used to say about Tisha was, is it going to include sex? None of them wanted intelligent women because of the fact that they weren't intelligent. So it's kind of hard
Exactly.
for any of them, whether it be Bessemer
or Louisiana, if you weren't validated as a young woman or a young girl, you'll never understand the melodies of the world.
Exactly.
I want to do my super chat. Hold on for a minute. I'm gonna do my super chat right now. Thank you, Nurse Life. I appreciate it. Pookie and Wanda, I'm getting my popcorn. Okay. I got another one. I just want to thank all y'all for my super chat. I know I'm behind, but I was trying to get this troll out of here. There was a couple of them in here, so I was back here trying to get them out. Y'all go ahead.
I just wanted to rebut the comment. I think Tisha is more sneaky than y'all like give credit for. She was the one, if you guys rewatch it, I did a video on it. She was the one in Kimmy's ear trying to make it seem like Melody was one way. So eventually, you know, if you're hearing this, eventually you're gonna start forming an opinion, being like, oh well, she just wants everyone to be like her. And you know what I'm saying? When they were in the hair salon, she okay, so Mel had told her, like, I have the blueprint, like I can help you as far as, you know, juggling life, work, kids, husband, etc. So then she goes to tell the conversation to Kimmy, and she kind of switches the words and she makes it seem as if Mel said, like, oh, I know everything, like I have this down pat. And that's when Kimmy's like, so much so that your man had to cheat on you. And if you notice, she hops in and she's like, yeah, because my husband is cheating on me. Why didn't you tell that to me, Mel? When she told you she had the blueprint, why didn't you at that point say your husband cheated on you, so clearly you don't? Even though I don't think that's even a legit reason to say that someone doesn't have the blueprint. But, you know, I feel like she was egging Kimmy on one side, like trying to make her feel a way towards Mel. And then, you know, and she's still placating under Mel, trying to act like she wanted to be her friend. But she really wanted to just use Mel, because that's why she showed up to Mel's event, trying to act like she was trying to be a peacemaker. She went to bump with people, and it had nothing to do with Mel.
And also during that first reunion, Melody said on that stage that they all were talking about her, but then they tried to do what she, you know, they were trying to imitate her. If y'all look at Maurice and Kimmy's new nonprofit organization, it's called Impact. They copied off Embrace. Tisha tried to copy off of that Mummy Business podcast. They try to imitate everything this woman do. They don't want to give her credit. They can't be original. So now they trying to imitate her, and then they get jealous when they stuff they stuff fail or don't make the money that they thought it was going to make. And then they look at Mabel, and she's got production companies, all these skincare products, lipstick lines, everything that she touched. I'm not saying everything, but everything that we've seen that she touched is basically, we say she got the Midas touch. These people are so jealous, but they can stop this in their tracks, because jealousy is what you call a blessing blocker, because it's a fruit. It's not a fruit of the spirit, it's a work of the flesh. That's one thing you have to learn early on in you. Hopefully they'll learn it, but I learned that early on as a young adult. Do not be jealous, because you will not get blessed looking at somebody else. Stuff, don't covet your neighbor's own stuff. And this is where they're making a mistake, is when they are jealous of this woman, talking about her, and then trying to make other people feel like she's not a good friend. She's all these evil and bitter, bad things. And we're looking and seeing something totally different than what you're saying. And with these people here, a lot of them were laughing at Mel about her divorce, talking about her children, calling her all out of her name, Miss Wanda, and this Billy, Pookie, and all these people laughing at this one. And they laughed at their situation as well. But then you know this, you laugh now, you're going to cry later. Look at Curry. Ariane Curry. She laughed in the beginning. Oh, I took her man with my eyes closed. Oh, this, that, and the other. Oh, he's this. I mean, doing all this stuff, taunting this woman about this raggedy butt man. And guess where they both ended up? Laugh now. She even said that they were laugh at this woman. Her and Martell laughed. That's what she said. Now, I don't believe too much she said, but I believe she did laugh at this woman. But she laughed then. Her butt is crying now, because she's at the bottom where she thought she was going to get at the top. She thought she was going to use this situation, use this man, tear up a family for her own self gratification. She had no care for anything but her own self. And guess what? That's why she's in the position she is now. This is a cautionary tale for all of these side chicks out here thinking that these men giving them money, these men coming over there, oh, he just want a young woman, all this stuff like that. And they fool these people, these young girls, and she wasn't too young at 30. You're not young anymore. So she knew better, but she decided to do something different. And for that, like this lady, she said the very she said that I said, well, she thought she was going to get a bag. And she said she did get a bag, a diaper bag. And that's what she got. And that's what she deserved.
Yeah, but you know, they will never understand that favor ain't fair. But it damn sure feel good. It's not fair, but it feels so good. And someone had already spoke. Mel is not gloating. Mel is so humble. And you know what I really, really love about her is the fact that she's been with she did interviews with Heavenly. She's done it with DJ Richie. You know, she done did it with the, you know, what I guess content creators would say, the ones that are in the big league in air quotes. But when she did one with the ladies, you know, the up and comers, you know, and the questions that everybody asked, and what was so amazing, no one asked the same question, and no one was afraid to ask the question that they asked. They didn't sugarcoat anything. They did not pacify her. They asked the questions that I want to know. Inquiring minds wanted to know. So all the questions that was asked was questions that everybody wanted to know. Not taking anything from the, you know, the big creators, you know, air quotes once again. But however, those ladies, the interviews was awesome. All of them was just plain awesome. And I appreciate Mel taking out the time to sit with these ladies, regardless of how long it was, because we are actually, I'm not a millimeter. I will check her when she wrong, but I'm gonna be with her when she right. So
I said the same thing. What I said was, I'm gonna have her back. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm gonna have her back. I'm from right. Right is right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly. And so, and that's what I like about her, because you know what, she recognized, you know, that we are the ones watch the show. We watch the show.
Oh my God.
So it is like, I don't want you in my business. Yo, you ain't got no business. That's our business now. That's 4 years. Your business is 4 years worth of our business. Right. It's our business. So I feel like I got the right, if I'm watching your show, I have a, you know, that's what I don't understand about the Scots, and that's what I don't understand about Destiny. Your business, baby, you ain't got no business. This us is own business. This us business.
Just like they wanted that check, that public figure. You're a public figure. You don't have any.
Absolutely.
So
it costs more than they even think. It costs more than they're even ready for. They think it's all glitz and glamour, but in order to get to wherever they're trying to get to, you have to lose yourself. And Melanie was willing to put it all out there, because if you all remember, Oprah wasn't going to pick up that show until Melanie changed the dynamics and asked a question about the cheating husband. That show was that first show we saw was really just a pilot that was going to end up cut anyway. But because that young lady, Melody, is a mastermind at business, she knows it, she gets it, and she sets the narrative. It's just so sad with all the millionaire friends we see Melanie really did have in their town. Melanie reached back and tried to help her friends that really didn't have any money, creating the business for them, Scout. They still was broke, bringing them on the show, trying to put them in a position to win. And how dare they turn around and stab her in the back, because they were stabbing her the whole time, keeping Martell's secret, laughing at her. They've been laughing at her even when they was broke.
Absolutely. And it's so sad to see how, and don't get me wrong, I agree with um if you say thank you, you know, maybe not always saying thank you just because people want you to, but I don't feel like the boss ever thanked her. I feel like they have this entitlement. And you can tell by when they interviewed with Carlos King, he asked, and Tisha busted out laughing. If you guys said thank you, then there would have been no reason to laugh. What are you laughing at?
Yep.
And then you have
because they're low lights.
Yeah. Then you have Dusty on Instagram when someone said that Mel opened the door for her. Sorry. When Mel said that when someone said that Mel opened the door for her, she went on thanking Carlos King and Martell and everybody else.
They're all a sad bunch. I know that. I mean, to help somebody in their time of need. Tisha couldn't speak above a whisper because her husband wouldn't allow her to. Destiny married the chicken man that, what's her name, Kimmy tried to make fun of, which he had more money than any of the Scotts ever had, and Destiny ends up on the sides of the Scotts. Makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me how not one of them can say, you know, I don't like you, Melanie, but I appreciate what you did for me. You mean not one of y'all can thank this girl? Because Martell didn't do it.
And look at how ungrateful Tisha was during that interview when she said,
oh my God.
She said it with indignation. Why don't we thank each other? She's basically saying, think about that statement. Why don't we?
She really thinks she brought something to the table. You're right. You're right.
Isn't that foolish though? But that's foolish. And not only is it foolish, it's ungrateful. Someone that started this, she was sleeping in her bed probably when Melody was up thinking about ideas to pitch to Carlos. I bet she did not spend not one red dime to set up the interview, the consultation, and you saw Melody out there doing all these reels and everything. Tisha didn't have anything to do with that. But how ungrateful. This is why you reap what you sow. Now, those people, they try to sue Zen Gardens for hundreds of thousands of dollars because these people didn't pay them for some shabby work that they did, that Scope did. Okay, they didn't pay them, so they filed a lawsuit again. Now, Zen went and filed a counterclaim against them about 10 times more than what they tried to sue them for. Karma. You're reaping what you sow because you were ungrateful to someone who was kind to you and open up their home to you and try to help you in your time of need. And what you do, you stab them in the back, like Black Titanic say, backstabbers. So this is what they are getting, and they still hadn't found it in their heart to say thank you. Marceau said, wait for it. Okay, now
you know what? They don't get it. They don't get it. They don't understand. They do not understand the concept of reaping and sowing. You know, you can quote scripture all you want to, but if that scripture is not ingrained in you, if scripture is not ingrained in you, if scripture is not something that you done went to church and your mama, your grandma, your great grandma, and they have not ingrained something in you.
You are right. But this is what I'm saying. You are correct. But what I'm saying now is evidence that something is wrong in your life when you got 4 and 5 lawsuits thrown against you. And then you remember this summer, not even a month or two ago, Marceau was in his car headed somewhere singing, "Speak to my heart." You speak to your heart, you not listening. When people were telling you all the time, you need to thank this girl, you need to be grateful, you need to not say bad things about this woman, not do this, not do that, and you weren't listening. Now you're talking about speak to your heart. They were speaking, God was speaking to your heart, but you just weren't listening. But then when those lawsuits hit your butt, now you want to listen. Hey,
but see, I don't think he's listening.
He not
No.
listening. He thinks he can manipulate God the same way he's manipulated Tisha. I don't think for
No.
one moment Marceau has a relationship with God. Tisha's father is supposed to be a minister and don't know anything about God because nobody was involved in Tisha's life. Melody has always had a foundation. Marceau is playing with God, and people singing "Speak to My Heart." Trust me, that fell on deaf ears. He don't have any relationship with God to even say the words. He's a master manipulator, and he thinks that's going to get him out of trouble until he bows. And that means all of them. Until they bow, they go all reap what they sow. Kimmy got a narrative that she's sick now. Who knows if she really is or really isn't, or if they just realize we need a storyline. Why aren't they focused on Tisha and all the Scots surrounding themselves around Kimmy? They're not even focusing on whatever Kimmy is going through or whatever they're trying to get us to believe is wrong with Kimmy. They still bothering Melody. But why haven't the Scots just thrown up their hands and say our new storyline this season is all about Kimmy and forget Melody? She's gone. That's a flaw within all of those Scots. The mama looking to soup somebody. Why is nobody rallying around this Kimmy issue? These
And then
people
you know
have
what?
a problem.
That speaks volumes about who Kimmy is and what her position is in the family.
Come on. And she needs to know
because you know what she's going through, and if it has to do with the big C, I just experienced that, not personally, but not myself, but I just had a cousin to pass away. So that's something that is so near and dear to my heart because my cousin, she struggled to live and she wanted to live. And that's something that I sat there and I watched the life leave her. So for a person to, I'm not saying she's playing on it or trying to play on our emotions about it, because she cannot play on my emotions about it. And I don't really talk about it. That's what really kind of turned me against Kimmy a little bit, because when you are in that condition, that's a fight for your life, and all that gossipy, all that backstabbing and all that conniving and scheming kind of stuff, all of that, you need to cleanse yourself and rid yourself of that and put some positive light to shine in your life.
But
so
one thing
I don't really talk about Kimmy.
During her interview yesterday or the day before, one of her interviews anyway, she said, listen, the people reap what they sow. And she said clearly that if you look at what's going on right now with these people, you will clearly see that they are reaping some of the things that they have sown. And just think about all of the situations from Martell to Destiny to Letitia, Marceau, Maurice, Kimmy, Basement Billy, all of these people attack one woman. And you can probably say something has gone wrong with every last one of them. Publicly, they tried to publicly humiliate this lady, publicly laugh at her when her marriage and her family was split. And they had no care for this woman at all, no empathy for this woman at all. They all jumped on her back and tried to bring her down in her time of need. And now a lot of them have been, and I forgot the worst one of all up there with Martell, Curry. She thought that what she was doing, she was laughing. She was happy that she thought that she had won, but she lost a big fight that she had been fighting for 7 years against one.
Because Carrie is like any other. Carrie is like any other mistress. She was young-minded, thought Martell was the money or had the money. She believed in Martell just like Tisha believes in Marceau. So bottom line, Curry was going to get what Curry was going to get regardless. Martell sold her a wolf ticket and she went in full throttle. What did she have before Martell? Welfare? Because I don't see that other baby daddy claiming no kids and spending no time. So she believed the narrative. Martell is a good liar. And if you're young in the mind, like the Tishas of the world, Coleslaw was destined to fall down and go down with the ship. The only smart one on the whole show, unfortunately, was Melody. She just got in her own way, dragging these people with her. You know how they say God says the vision is for you, it's not for everybody. Melody had the vision and was dragging them with the Scots with her so that they could win, probably because she was tired of helping them out, paying their bills, creating stuff for them. She probably said, Martell, let's bring them in. They can get exposure. They can do well on their own. But the Scots aren't intelligent people. None of them. And did Maurice, did anybody figure out if Maurice passed the bar? When does he do law?
He
Because
did.
all I see him doing is trying to straighten people credit out. When does he practice law?
He doesn't. So I looked it up. He is certified or licensed to practice in Alabama according to the website, the Alabama bar website. But he doesn't. He doesn't. I don't know why. I wouldn't go to school for that much money and not practice. Like, that's the only way you're gonna reap the benefit, is to practice in what you're doing. But as it pertains to coleslaw, she is definitely reaping what she sows. What she doesn't or what she didn't realize was, or don't realize, is that he resents her because he looks at her, even though it was his own
Yes, he
doing,
do.
as well as hers.
He sure do.
He resents her because she is, in his mind, you made me lose my family. So he's gonna string her along. He's gonna do whatever, but that's only as it benefits him. When he wants a body to
You're
lay
right.
next to him, he's not
You're
gonna.
right.
All the time, when it comes to anything serious, as we've seen, he hasn't made her his girlfriend. He hasn't made her his wife. He doesn't even claim. He barely even says her name. He says my son's mother. Like,
My son's mother.
doesn't refer to her by name. He gives her no respect.
He sure
That's
doesn't.
that's one of the ways. I know, for me, when I'm trying to be shady towards someone, I'm like, "What's their name? What's that little?" You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to be shady. That's what people do when they don't want to even acknowledge you, and that's what he does day to day. He never acknowledges her. She's reaping what she sows, and she deserves it. I'm here for every bit of it because she deserves it.
But you know, another thing, Martell should have.
Let me do the super chat. The Sliver, thank you for the super chat. And who else? Everybody else who did the super chat, thank you. I'm behind because I'm trying to do the trolls at the same time. I don't know why StemYard won't let you have the give them the wand to take them out. I don't know why they don't do that. I already got them mod in here, but it not giving them the excuse me, the wand to get them out of here.
Oh, that's annoying. Can you block them?
Yes, I'm blocking while y'all talking. I'm blocking one by one. I have to block them like that.
Yeah, so it's a longer process.
Yeah, it's just a longer.
Can you make people moderators so that they can help you?
There already is, but on StemYard, it don't give them the wand to do it. I don't know why. I had to go into YouTube and do it. So
that's annoying. But yeah, don't worry. We got this conversation covered. Do what you got to do.
I understand, but I got one thing to say. I have one thing to say. When I was in Huntsville, me and my best friend went to Huntsville. Something stuck out to me. When we went to Black, it was two guys had a car just like Marceau, but he won't there. These two guys went inside. We were sitting in the parlor. They went inside. We sit there and watch. I said something strange about it. I asked my girl, I said, "You think they own Black?" She said, "I don't." She looked like it's a partner owned thing. And I looked. I said, "But Tisha and Marceau name is up there." And she was like, they still could be a solid partner. When we went inside, and sat down, they went behind the bar and got something and said, "Hey." Allegedly they got something. They said, "Hey, we'll be back later." And they were talking to people and they walked way back out. They had the same car as Marceau had. Two guys that got out. The one had one car, one had the other car. They were just, all of them was just alike. I think there was like sorority brothers. But for this man to go behind the bar and get something to drink and get something and leave, I was like, this kind of strange. It looked like a partnership to me, don't it?
So do you think Do you think Marceau's using their car, or do you just think like all three of them got
That's what I
matching?
was just
No,
thinking.
I'm
That's what
saying
I was
no.
just thinking.
He's not all three of them had the same car because it was two of the regular ones. They had the same car.
So you
Mm.
saw three. You saying you saw three different cars?
I seen two different cars. This the same car as
Two.
Marcel had. One guy got out one car and another guy got out one car. They parked right beside each other.
Well, I was. Well, you know they can lease those vehicles and rent them too.
Yeah.
Well,
Could be a rental out of Atlanta.
I do know that Marceau and Tisha went to Dallas, and I think they came to Atlanta looking for investors for Black. They wanted to put Black cigar lounges in Texas and Black cigar lounges in Atlanta. So they have investors, and I know they did take some pictures with some ladies who had invested in their champagne, Black, what is it, chocolate in a bottle. So they do have investors, but it sounds like you're saying they got some business partners that maybe
I believe it. I believe it because where would they get the money from? Where would they get that money from? I'm sure they have investors because Melody, let's be clear, Melody was the one investing in them all these years. They don't have any money like that. They can't even get that house off the ground.
But I thought it was strange because these guys went behind the we seen them get out the car because I told my girlfriend, I said, this way. I said, something don't look like it. This look like I thought it was Marceau, but it wasn't. Then when that car pulled up, the other car pulled just like that, and they parked. And they went inside, and then we went inside, and then they went behind the bar, was talking to the people who worked there. And I was
See, that's weird. So I had looked it up. Hey, De Silva, by the way. Hey, De Silva. So I had looked it up. Do y'all know there's already a Black lounge in Houston, Texas? Now,
well, they were going out there.
Yeah, well, it's not theirs. So
it's a franchise.
So, but well, theirs different just because theirs is Black Cigar Lounge, but the other one is Black Lounge. I think there was actually like two out there. I don't know if those two are connected, but I was wondering how that's going to work if there's already a Black cigar or a Black lounge out in Houston, Texas, for them to move out. And I've noticed no move has been made ever since they went out to Houston.
They're probably trying to pass it off as a franchise.
I don't really think they have the finesse. You could go and look at anything you want to look at, but I don't think they have the know-how to really compete in Dallas or in Atlanta, because I'm sure there are cigar lounges, cigar bars in Atlanta, and there are cigar bars in cigar lounges in Texas. I've never been to Black, but all the pictures I have seen, I've never seen. I've been to hookah lounges and I've been to cigar bars. I live in Florida, so I go to Tampa, go to Miami. I'm right there in the middle, and the ambiance is not somewhere that everybody can go. It's not exclusive, but it's not somewhere that everybody fits in. And then to have a barfly come there and barfly Wanda come, and Big and Destiny come. Those are not the type of bars, cigar lounges I have visited before. And from the looks of it, it's not somewhere that I would, if I ever did manage to go to Huntsville, that wouldn't be a spot that I just, let's go to Blake's. That would be somewhere I don't think because from what I've seen of it on TV and and other bloggers, that it just don't seem like it's a bar that would fit my personality or my character. So they would probably be best right there where they are. Because if they were that and all of that, Atlanta, I know you would find somewhere in Atlanta. I can't really speak for Texas, but I can kind of speak for Atlanta. And for me, with the Scotts and Martell, it's like it's something quite not right with those group of men. It's
Definitely
like
not.
it's something under it's an undercurrent or something.
Yeah, it's
Inbreeds.
I
something
They
just
look
about
can't
like
put
those
my
men.
inbreeds.
hands on it. It's just something with those, and then with the other one, he looks so dirty to me with
Y'all
Seduct.
Derek.
all know what it is. Y'all all of us know what we feeling about all of those men. We just not saying it.
Okay, well, so
Inbreeds.
you feel me. You so you feel me. You know, it's just something about them. It's like
That's
they
right.
stand up for each other more than they stand up for, the females in their family. And then,
Okay, this out.
and
Remember when
someone was saying,
remember Maurice was talking about Marty on the phone.
and just
When
like someone was saying about Miss Marlene, that she's tired. Of course she's tired. But
yes she
she's
is.
reaping what she did to Mel also. Because when her and Mel went to that breakfast, it wasn't that she didn't want to talk to Mel or try. Miss Marlene, that lady was hungry. Did you see how she didn't
They
want to
all
talk? She
did you
wanted
see
to
it?
eat.
Did
Oh
you
my
see it?
Lord, that
And then
woman
lost
was
a whole. I
hungry.
was one. Oh, you better say it.
She was
I thought the
hungry,
same
honey.
thing.
Yeah, she was
She was
hungry.
hungry. The money stopped. The money is cut
That,
off. All of them hungry.
And you see
My
how it wasn't that she
goodness.
was trying to shade Mel or anything, because see, I done been out to breakfast a lot of times and be hungry, like be hungry, and I'm listening. I see your mouth moving and I hear what you saying, but I ain't listen to you. But I'm gonna put an
Because I'm trying to
in
eat.
there every now and then. I
Hey,
mean, dang.
I don't know how the
You
silver
better tell
sliver.
it.
Excuse me.
Girl, you didn't say it a mouthful. You didn't say it a
No,
mouthful with your crazy self, but you sure telling the truth.
I'm just telling the truth, and then
You really are.
I'm just saying, and
She was
when just like
hungry.
she was hungry, and then I
Uh-huh.
when you get a certain
Yes, she
age,
is. Yes, she was hungry.
you
That's
exactly, and
going
then
down in the history books. That's
I don't
going
know
down in the
how.
history books.
Excuse me,
It
ladies.
was
I don't know how chit chat and the sliver do this, cause y'all off the chain.
No, but she telling the truth, Ed. She said, I didn't look at it like that, but I did kind of shift like, is she hungry? Just
right.
ignorant. But you're right. She was hungry. She was hungry. She just
That is
chewing and food
funny.
flying, and you right.
And then she's tired of
because
all of this too.
when
She's
when
tired of
you
all
sit
this
down
mess.
having a conversation with people over lunch, breakfast, or dinner, you do look up at them. But this lady was just eating, and Mel would say something, and then she was giving Mel like one-liners. Oh, you ain't got to unblock me, baby. Then and just keep, just keep right on eating.
Yes,
So this lady said,
yes, yes.
I'm gonna enjoy this because I know if I'm going with Mel, I'm gonna eat. And it's not that she's not eating; she's not eating,
As well,
proper
as
is
well,
what
and
is
as
right.
often.
But exactly, because now I got this whole grown man living in my house. I want
Oh,
my house back by myself. And then,
and
they
then that
get a
little
check.
boy
They
be
get a
there.
beginning of the season check
Golly.
and they get the end of the season check. Now I watched when he was talking to Chris Fletcher and he was saying about it's time for him to buy a house. I almost threw my phone against the wall. With what?
Oh my
Where is you
goodness.
finna get the money from to buy a
Oh,
house? And it's
oh,
like when I look at them, it's like they trying to down Mel, but they trying to keep up with Mel. And Mel is so far ahead and so far
oh yeah.
above
They not
that
Mel is they out of Mel is she is you know what she don't act like she is and she don't try to be. She just is Melody. They cannot
Yeah,
be match Melody old.
yeah,
Because they were so dirty and messy. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? They in a whole nother category from her.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when we
Yeah.
say,
That's a
you know,
horrible thing to lay down with the enemy, and Melody definitely did. How could you be married
That's what
to
I
a man
say.
that
Yes,
was jealous of you? Your
I
own
did.
man was
I did
jealous.
it.
She was with the enemy. She's
That's
lucky to
what
walk out with her
sleeping
sanity.
with the enemy, sleeping with the enemy.
but you
Oh
know
Sleeping
what?
no,
with
She's
But I
the
think
still
enemy.
it grew into
she's
that.
still a good person. You know why? Because when she did all those interviews with all those ladies, she didn't say, I presented this. She never said
Nope.
I.
no, no,
She
no,
said
no.
we.
That's
She
right.
always
Always
said
back,
we.
she
So
And
she
always
that was
was
the
backed
way. That
Martell.
was the way that she gave back to us for doing what we do. She was on a lot of platforms. What about 8 of them?
I don't know, but
Yeah.
On a
if
lot.
16,
I'm
she
not
did 16
mistaken,
interviews. She did
I
16.
heard she did 16 interviews. But
Oh
what
my
I'm
God.
saying, when a question was asked about how did this all become love and marriage Huntsville, she never said I wanted she never said
Yeah.
So I always say
she
me and
always
Martell.
said
Me and
yeah,
Martell.
she always said we, Martell
Even
and
when
I.
Mhm.
So
when even when
she
it came to her,
still
yeah, even when it came to their businesses, no one knew Martell did nothing in a sense
No
or was
one
the
knew.
brain
No,
till
we found it out though.
it wasn't
And
right.
it
It wasn't
really makes you feel bad how he downed her all in
Yeah.
before we really knew it was her. You ain't
Yeah.
never home. I'm raising the kids. You
Yeah.
don't cook. You don't take it. And she was the one working. You the one
Yeah.
sitting on your tail, just
Mhm.
Yeah.
reaping
She
the
came
benefits.
out.
You never had a license. You never
Mm.
really was even working on those houses. She had a crew. He never
Yes.
did nothing. And he made it seem like this girl was so big. So, what did he really say she
And
was
don't
doing? Because
forget
he
the way
never gave
Carlos
her credit.
King did it. Carlos King was shooting it. He was chopping
Yeah,
and showing it, making us
yeah,
think it. Don't
yeah.
forget he played a role.
I'm
So
not so worried about
usually,
Carlos King. I'm talking about the fact that Martell was her husband and tried to belittle her as a mother by saying
Oh yeah.
she wasn't
Oh
home
yeah.
to take care of those kids. That's the part I'm talking about.
Oh
You're
yeah. He
never
did
home.
that.
You're
He
never
excuse
did
me,
home.
that.
ladies. Excuse me, ladies. Hi, Queen Sheba. How you doing?
Hey,
Queen Sheba.
panel. Hello,
Queen
everybody in the
Sheba.
chat.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
Look,
Yeah,
y'all have such a
that's what
great
was so
conversation going
pudding.
on. I had to jump on. Like, y'all are really like serving up some tea tonight.
Thank you.
But Martell is a kept man. Martell thought that he was literally supposed to just sit back and lay back and everything
Say
still
it
be
again.
for him. Like, how do you expect for her to be the breadwinner and come
Come
home,
on.
cook, take care of the
Come
kids?
on. That's
What
what
is
I'm
and what
saying.
part do you bring? What part do
Oh.
you bring to the table?
He brought
Oh yeah.
nothing to the table. Nothing to the table and
I
belittled
can
that girl.
imagine what all went on behind the closed doors that we don't know about.
Yep.
but you
And she's
know
so
with the whole
gracious, she don't even tell it. She don't tell nothing
And we
back.
will never know it. We will never know
Nope.
it because she
Nope.
got those children. Uh-uh.
Yep.
Maybe a
but
book
you
later
know
on, years down the line.
but you know what this is? This is her beauty for ashes.
Woo, you better say it.
This is beauty for ashes. For
Yes, it is.
everything, she's just like the phoenix, just
Yes.
rising and
Yeah,
rising
just
and
rising and
rising.
rising. Oh, and
And
it's
you
so
know what?
Moving
beautiful.
in
It's so
silence.
Obedience.
beautiful.
And you know what? Obedience is
Oh,
better
yes.
than sacrifice.
Oh, yes.
You
Humble.
could
She was so,
sacrifice, she could have sacrificed everything. But when
yeah,
Yep.
God said go,
she went.
she
She
hadn't
went.
already been in her prayer
Oh,
closet. She
yes.
hadn't already cried. And when the
Yeah.
crying was over and the meditation and the peace came, then
Oh,
God
yeah.
said, when
And
He put her where He wanted her to be.
Oh, yeah. He
And
gave her
then
that peace.
when He said go, He didn't
Amen.
say take no furniture. He didn't say take no furs. He didn't say don't take no
Amen.
cars. He said go. Because just like I did it for Job, I'm going to do it for you.
Amen.
And I'm going to
Yep.
do
Amen.
it in
Yep.
front of the people that tried to
Yep.
curse
Yep.
you.
Yep.
He said, I'm going to
And
make
that
your
he did.
enemies your
Oh, yes, it
Your
footstool.
did.
footstool.
And
Yes,
they
it
don't even
did.
realize they're just a doormat for her to walk. And she's not even walking over. walking on them. She's walking
not.
over
That's what's
them.
so good about it. That's what's so good about it.
She's not walking on them. She's walking over them.
Amen.
See, you know, they don't
But it say
understand
you
the
can
good.
lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink.
Can't make them
She
drink
led
it.
all of them to the water. She led every last one of them to the water. All they had to do was drink the water of knowledge that she put before them, but instead they tried to just lap up the water and drink all the water up. They didn't have sense enough to do what she did, and that was gain the knowledge and then branch off. They so busy trying to take everything from this girl.
Yeah,
they were
but
too busy laughing at her.
you know what that reminds me of.
Ladies, one at a time.
Sorry,
that reminds me of a story in the Bible where it said, where God told Gideon, take all the men in the valley and take them down to the water hole.
Go
ahead. He said, no. And he said, everybody that lapped like a dog, but they putting their hands, but they putting their hands down and they're not looking. They're not looking. Okay. He said, you know what? That's too many. So he said, cut a couple of them away. So he said, anybody who's scared to fight, go home. Okay, what's left? About 3,000. So God said, you still got a little bit too many. So he said, take them down to the water. And if they lap with their head down, they need to go. Because you got to see what's coming. See, they wasn't looking at what was coming. They had their head down lapping the water. So God said, you know what? Let them go. So it was only 300 left. He said, are you sure I'm going to be able to handle this with 300? God said, if you do what I tell you to do, you ain't got to worry about it. Everybody in the camp was asleep. Everybody in the camp was asleep. 300 men. They ain't had none but some pots and pans and some lanterns. And they went in there scared a whole army, a whole legion of men, 300. But it wasn't but one male. She took them to the water. She took them to the river, but they didn't want them. They didn't want to cross over to Jordan. So they are where they are. They're doing what they're doing, and they're getting the repercussions of what they have done. So that's the reaping and the sowing.
Yeah. And you know what? All she wanted from her husband was to shut your mouth. Stop talking about me in public for the world and stop disgracing me. Shut up. And he wouldn't even shut up. He couldn't. Martell. I believe if he had just shut his mouth way back, it could have been just between her and her husband. But no.
But you know what? I don't think so. I think, Mel, you know what? When we do things, we always have a motive in what we're doing. And when I first watched this, when I first started watching Love and Marriage Huntsville, and my eyes just keyed in on Mel. And I always said, this lady right here, it's just something about this lady right here. And then when I think it was in Vegas, and Martell said, you playing our divorce. I said, that's it right there. Mel was planning her exit in the beginning, and they didn't even, he didn't see it. He figured she ain't gonna leave me. She ain't gonna never leave me. And then when she left him, he said, then he had the attitude like she got the audacity to leave me. She ain't gonna be nothing without me. But God said different.
And she had a plan. You don't just walk out. This woman said
no. She was playing chess all the time. They was playing chess
all the time.
Miss Ann.
And she made sure he couldn't get nothing she had.
On the tea today. I'm just not coming in, and I'm here for the tea.
You're gonna have to look. You're gonna have to look at the video.
Give us a highlight. I'm looking through the comments like, wait, what happened?
And see, sis, that's what I came in on too.
It was somebody else.
I thought she said she was coming on at 9.
Yeah.
No, you missed it because the other lady was up here had some more tea. You missed it. You gotta look at the video.
Well, I'm gonna go back because that's what I was sipping my wine. Well, I said, 9 o'clock.
She got the tea, honey. She had the tea too. She had. It was 2 of them. You left. They were coming behind me.
I know
Wait a
one of them was
minute.
70
Somebody
depending.
said allegedly Disney is sleeping with Martell and Marcel.
Allegedly,
Say what
yep.
now?
What?
Yeah, she
Say
way up
what
in
now?
the chat. She way up in the chat.
You say what?
Say what now?
Yeah, you wait.
Now wait a minute. What did you say?
She say what?
Destiny sleeping with Martell and Marcel allegedly.
Yep.
Wow.
Ooh, but you know what?
At
I
some
wouldn't doubt
point,
it. I would
Uh,
not doubt it.
And don't forget Maurice, the way he looking at her when she left out that darn office. So she said there might be a threesome up in there
I
somewhere.
oh
gotta
yeah.
say,
Why they say she look
Russell
like she
and
got BDE?
Crystal.
what happened? They got the what
Right.
now? They got what
BDE. Remember
happened?
they kept saying you look like you got BDE at the reunion last time.
Oh, that okay.
She spoke that she had that big DE. She the one who spoke it, and I had said a while back, allegedly, the way her and Kimmy was flirting. I would say I wouldn't, because when they said something about when they were in Vegas, something about a threesome,
Yeah.
and
Threesome.
Oh
Kimmy said,
yeah.
I could tell, going ask Maurice or something like that. I could tell you the person. I believe that they have had a threesome,
That's the way
allegedly,
they was
those
acting
three.
Excuse me a
kind of
minute.
like that.
Queen Sheba, if you're still in the chat, come back up. I want to hear what you had to say.
Yes, please come back up.
Yes. Y'all go
But
ahead, come back up. I want to hear what she had to say.
while we're waiting for her to come
Yeah, go
back,
ahead.
um, when it comes to the whole Maurice, Destiny, Kimmy situation, did y'all catch how when they were at Madani, they were doing like a toast, and they were like, "Oh, you're supposed to look at your spouse when, like, as you drink after you toast," and
Yeah.
Destiny was making Kimmy look at her. She was like, "No, you're gonna look at me," and it was just this
I didn't
weird
catch
vibe
that.
between the three of them.
Oh
Huh.
I
Lord.
thought it was on
Ooh.
like a unseen. Did I post it? I don't remember if I posted it, but I can't remember whether it aired or if it was one of those clips that they showed after the fact. But they were in Madani, and it was just weird between the three of them. And then as I was watching back to season 3 today, they were having that conversation at the taco dinner or lunch at Mel's house, and Kimmy was claiming that it wasn't her that they wanted to do the threesome with. But I don't trust them people anyway. They're just gonna say that because they know the camera's rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Hey, ladies,
I
how y'all
just
doing
don't
tonight?
understand.
Finding you.
All right,
How
all
we doing?
right.
Good. I wanted to know, did y'all hear Marceau tell that big ass lie tonight? He
Which one?
said, I know, right? Because he lies so much. But he said, so first I want to say that there is one good man on the show, and he revealed himself tonight,
Oh
and
yeah.
that's Stormy's husband.
Yeah, that's
He
Storm's husband.
he is a man's man. He loves his wife. He respects his wife, and he said more than one time that he don't make decisions without his wife,
Well, his
and that
wife.
Mhm.
yes, and that they are better together than they are apart. So he don't move unless him and Stormy are moving together. That's how they made $20 million. So then
Yeah.
Marceau goes, "Well, I made 17 million by myself. I didn't need Tisha to make that."
Mm.
Oh
Wait, wait, wait.
Lord.
And with Tisha,
Excuse
he
me,
would
lady.
have
I
had
would
Excuse me,
love to see
lady.
that 17 million.
Yeah, excuse me, lady.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Uh-huh.
Queen Sheba. I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Oh, I have a lot to say,
Go
but
ahead.
I'll try to keep it short and sweet. So, as we're talking and I'm listening to you ladies, I think all of you make good points. And I'm thinking to myself, where did this go wrong? So I think initially the initial concept of the show was to have everything that Melody brought to the table. But I think Melody made a mistake when she confided in Carlos that she was having marital problems with Martell. I don't know if y'all remember that. She called him
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
about 2 weeks before the show started filming, and she said, "I
Yeah.
don't want to do this." And she
Yep.
found out that Martell was still seeing coleslaw after he told her that he wasn't. I
Yes.
think in that moment, in my personal opinion, I think a light bulb went out and went on in Carlos's head, and that's when I think he decided to flip the script on Melody. Like, oh, I'm going to protect you. I'm going to keep you safe. And I think that's where he saw his opportunity to profit off of her pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
Absolutely.
know,
Right. You
I
heard it,
kind of
man.
see it a little differently because I remember early on with Oprah, that show probably wasn't going to make it. And Melody, I remember her saying she chose to bring up the conversation. Now, what I do believe, she confided in Carlos, if you all follow me, I believe she confided in Carlos that I'm really getting ready to find myself a position, put myself in position to leave Martell. Because if you remember, Carlos, he looks to be the villain of it all. But we know who the villains are between the Scotts and Martell. I think Carlos really did protect Melody, because if she really had that conversation the way you said, Sheba, he would have revealed all along she was leaving. Remember, she kept saying she couldn't leave until God said go. That's always been her narrative for leaving. God didn't tell her it was time yet. She got everything established. She got everything she wanted. And when she left Martell, there was nothing he could come after her to get. I believe
Oh,
Carlos did protect her.
but
So I think
I'm looking at
my
both of what
reference
you're
was like
saying.
to the
Both of
beginning,
what you're
like
saying.
before she even decided she was going to leave. I'm just saying, like, where Carlos felt like, oh, I got some leverage. I could really spin
Right.
this show in two ways. So even
yes,
that's my
yes.
Yeah,
reference
yeah,
before
I
she even
see
got to
that.
that point about I want to leave my marriage or stay.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying from my just what Carlos
Yeah.
came based on the way he thinks, based on Candy's
That's right.
just what Candy shared. He gets really close to women. He gets women to trust him. They confide in
Uh-huh.
him. He feels like a friend. So from that aspect, I think you're right, like later on, but I was just like tackling it from the initial concept.
Yeah, he
You know,
saw
I
an
could,
opportunity, honey. Carlos King
yeah.
did.
He
You
didn't
know, and
care
I
He
can kind
about
of,
possibly
he didn't
I
he
care
can kind
possibly
of,
did, but I
he
I
think
didn't,
can
she
kind
was
of
planning
agree
to
with
leave from
what,
the jump.
I could agree with what both ladies are saying, but I see what Queen Sheba, who I love you too. I love
love
you
you too.
also. And Carlos seemed like the type of person. I don't know if anybody ever had someone that you thought you were the friend to them, but they were never really that friend to you, and he
Yep.
could just get what he wanted to get out of you, and then at some point use it against you, like he did Mel at the reunion when he said coleslaw was the whole meal. When he did that,
Yeah.
He
that
called her
right
the
there,
restaurant.
yeah, he
Oh
said he
yeah.
was the restaurant. So
Yeah.
that left a bad, that left a bad mark on him for me. And
Yeah.
I
That was
understand,
hurting. That was so hurtful.
yeah,
What
and I
did
get
Melanie say when he said that? What did she
she
say
didn't
when
Oh
say
he
Lord,
said
I
that?
know. I know it hurt my
I don't think
heart.
she said anything.
She said, I
But
She
am
let's
didn't.
enough.
stop
She
there.
didn't.
He said, could it be
She
that you were
didn't.
not enough? And she said, I am enough.
Yeah, she
That's
said, I
right.
won't
Something
let
like
you
She
put
that.
that narrative
exactly.
on me.
That's exactly what she said. And
She
I
sure
this
did.
is why I kind of think Carlos is playing the middle, that he really is on Mel's side, because look at how they throwing around. I'm gonna sue this one, I'm gonna sue that one. I Melody has the thickest skin, and we can all agree on that. But
Oh
you and
yeah.
I both know, as women, had that not been something she kind of had a discussion with Carlos about to kind of keep Carlos away from, we just know, as desperate as the Scotts and Martell are, they're going to sue anybody that knew Melody was planning on leaving the whole time, planning on getting her own show, planning on, doing away with them. They still have no storyline without this girl. And I know Carlos is a snake, but if he was as bad as we may think he is, I think he would have tipped his hat and let it be known Melody had confided that in him. He keep telling little things or revealing things, but he never revealed Melody really was plotting to leave. And I think that's because spiritually, Melody knew what she was dealing with. She did. She knew what she was dealing with her with Carlos, in other words. But as far as her husband and the Scots, I don't think Melody thought it would have ended the way it did. And that's the hurtful part, I think, for us to see unraveling. All of these people this girl has been helping all along, riding her coattail, and get them right there to the water. And instead of instead of just making a way for themselves, they tried to tear her down, thinking they could take this from her. None of them will ever be successful without Melody. And that's the joke of it all. They don't have any talent. They have no talent. And I think Carlos knew they didn't, because how you get a Stormy and all these other wealthy women in the building with the Scots at the head table? What are they doing there? Other than Melody was trying to help her friends, or who she thought were her friends, who all along were in her pocket. I think she saw this as freedom all the way around. I'm going to get rid of Martell. I'm going to get these ones out of my pocket, and they going to have the show and do what they want to do. But it blew up so big, people started recognizing her coming out of Hollywood. Who is this Melody? Where is this girl coming from? What? Melody makes you want to help her, because she has so much to give. She can command attention, but she also commands the ability for anybody to want to come in and pour even more into her. And the Scotts and the Martells of the world will never have that. I think Melanie was leaving all along.
But you know that scene from the you know that scene from The Color Purple, when all of them was at the dinner table, and Sophia had just got out of prison, right? And they were just sitting there and Suge say, "Well, we leaving," and I'm taking what was Whoopi name, whatever her name was in The Color Purple. I'm taking Celie with me, and he said, "Oh, you ain't this and you ain't that." And Celie got that knife and said, "Until you do," he got when she said, "I may be ugly, I may be black, but everything you did to me is already done to you. And until you do right by me, everything you touch, everything you think about, I don't care how prosperous they think they're gonna get or whatever may be like a sure thing for them, it's never gonna work, it's never gonna prosper." Because before you can ask God to forgive you when you done did something to somebody, you got to get it right to get that person. You can ask God to forgive you all you want, and He will. But your forgiveness, He said, trespasses against me, like I trespass. That's why when when people say I'm sorry, I don't take that for granted anymore. I used to take that for granted, because when I ask God to forgive me, who am I to ask God to forgive me, and I can't forgive someone else? See, Mel have already forgiven these people, and they don't understand that. But see, until they do right by this lady, all your fields gonna have locusts and the crows eating your corn.
Because I believe what you're saying. You're right.
Because
you're
just
right.
like Nene Link said, when you play dirty, it's just not a saying. When you play dirty, you don't win. It may look like it, but in the end, the one who didn't laugh is gonna get the last laugh.
Yeah.
So where they're thinking they're doing this and they're doing that towards Mel, and I'm pretty sure it did hurt, because there is no hurt like a betrayal. When someone betray you, it's like your heart done broke into a zillion pieces, and you don't know if you could ever find a way to get it all back together. But once you get it back together, oh baby, oh baby, oh baby, oh baby, ooh, it's on and popping after that. And so that's what we see what's going on with Mel. You just like Beyonce got out this Renaissance album. You can't break my soul. You can't break my soul. People need to listen to that, not to criticize it, but to listen at what this lady's saying. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you say. I'm in a place now. You can't break me. You can't break me. And that's where Mel is at now. You know what?
I believe she was always there.
Yeah.
I believe she was always there, but she knows the art of moving in silence. Because I have often said, if you really gonna leave a person, you have a plan already in place. You gonna play the role. You don't make no grandstand. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. You just, when you look up and they look up, you already gone. Melody was gone episode 1 when she put her own business on Front Street and said, "What do y'all think?" And when Martell kept kicking her under the table, she said, "Oh, no, no, this is my exit. This is my exodus," as the song says. She had to put the narrative out there, put the truth out there on Front Street, take all the backlash, take all the name calling for all of everybody to see. It ain't her. It's really him.
But I would know,
Because it would have just looked like a wife mad because her husband cheated on her. No, this was bigger than a husband cheating. He was taken from his household and helping his friend. Huh.
I wished I had the strength of Melody years ago when my children were small, because I walked away for 18-year marriage. My babe, I couldn't leave right then because I had 2 small kids, didn't work. But then I went back to school and started going back to work. I had to wait until this man went out to sea. Didn't know what I was. My daughter had to wait till one of them finished school. She had just graduated from high school. Packed everything up, because when you're in a situation, you have to wring your way out. Pack everything up. We used to be in a big house, 6 bedrooms. Packed everything up. And I said, Lord, I'd rather be happy than have all these jewels. So what I did, only took everything out of the house and only left the curtains. When he came back, and see, the military don't protect because they are high. He was a high rank, so they didn't protect me like I thought they was. Left. This fool was like Montel. Found me and said, what's going on? He followed me from taking my baby to school to back to the, I went and got me an apartment, to back to the apartment, and all hell broke loose. And I said to myself, I said, I'm staying right here. I'm not letting him tell me sweets nothing. Go back to the house. Been out ever since. Bought my own home. Bought my own 3-bedroom home. Got my own car and got my own business. Run 2 business. Happy. And a lot of people say, are you gonna get married again? And I know they asked Melody, and I know how she feel. I have a friend that do anything. Nice man, got a good job, but I'm just afraid because what I've been through, and I don't want to go back what I've been through. I know people say you could be happy, you could do it again. Just don't want to live that pain again. That pain hurt. People don't understand. That pain cuts you to the core. When you've been portrayed like that, that cuts you to the core. So I understand. And I had to, like I tell you about, I had to pray my way from where I was at. No one's there when you cry from room to room. No one's there when you're just trying to figure things out and you got kids. No one's there. They don't see. They just don't see that pain. But when you get out that pain and you're in a happy life, you want to stay that way because you're afraid of the pain.
But you know, Aunt Ann,
how long ago was that? How long ago?
I tell women all the time. I'm an only child, so I don't know if it was easy for me to be like that. And I had a friend, but my cousins were my best of friends. So family and friend. That's what my cousins were. We were like sisters. And I always tell women, and I always tell young girls, and I especially would tell my daughter, honey, learn how to be selfish. Not selfish in a bad way. Be selfish with your time. Be selfish with yourself. See, I don't allow anything into my world. I built my own world. God built the world that I wanted. I'm in a place right now where I have never thought I would be. And it was only by the grace of God that I'm here and his mercy that I am where I am now. because I learned how to be selfish with my time. I learned how to be okay with being alone. I'm not by myself. I'm just, alone. I'm alone in my apartment. I could be however I want to be. If I want to date, I date. If I don't want to date, I don't. This is my time. I'm selfish with me. God said, I'm a temple of the Lord. So I'm being very careful who I allow in my temple. So I'm being so selfish with myself that sometimes I can't even stand myself for being so selfish. And
I
I don't feel
understand.
bad about being selfish. And when the right person come along, that person is going to make any woman who feel like right now, I'm just afraid to step out. That man is going to be so patient with you. That man going to be so kind to you, to everything that you have went through. See, God
That's
said,
what I
I know
got.
the plans.
That's
God
what I
said,
got.
and
See,
I
that's what I.
believe that I believe you
Yeah,
to be a religious lady because I see your posts and you always
yeah.
pray. So
That's why I
God
have.
said,
Yeah, he'll sit here. He'll help me with my orders. Um, he'll come. He's very very sweet, very good. He worked. He was in the military. He retired. Now he work at NASA. He work at the air place. So
so
he's
God said
I
He
was
know the
very
asking how
good.
plans.
long
He said
ago it was.
he
How
said
long ago
how long,
did you walk away? How long ago was it that you walked away from your marriage?
it's been a while because my children's grown. my baby got her own family. It was a long time. It's just that
But you still have that fear.
yes, if I like now, he's sitting in the front room packing my package. If I want to go somewhere, we'll go. But he said I'm gonna wait. He said I never met nobody like you. I'm just gonna wait. I don't care how long it is. I'm gonna wait. I've been talking to this man for 2 years. He done gave him about 2 reasons. I done gave him back. It's just that I don't want
So,
to. I figured that I just don't want to go to that place. It was a dark, dark place. And if nobody had never been to that dark, dark place, you would not
well, I
understand.
have. Oh no, I have, and it took me. So I relate to the walking away. It took me to marry a minister. Even though I had my own independence, marrying a man in the church, up and coming pastor, but it took me all of 90 days to figure out it was not gonna work. And I didn't stay long. It's kind of like when I don't tell my story often because, people will know who he is, but it was only 90 days. And I think it had everything to do with the fact that number one, this can't be what God says. And I'm looking at you in this pulpit and people are fainting and falling out behind what you're saying. And you don't even live that life. Now it's taken me, that was in 93, and it's taken me until 2018 to get
Mm,
to a point where I knew it was time for me to take back my own power because he's gone on with his life, much like I'm sure your ex-husband is. And I did walk in fear. I walked in fear to the point where it was like, yeah, I don't date past 3 months. That's because my son, he's gone for the summer. And when he come back, I don't want any men around my child or any. That was my excuse because I didn't let you get close enough to me. But when my heart got broken, and you're right, that's a painful experience when somebody betrays you the way my husband did. And Stan forgot I didn't want church, God, because that couldn't be the truth.
Queen
But
Sheba, what you
sitting in,
think?
Okay, I'm gonna take it back. And sorry, ladies, I'm just gonna switch really quick if that's okay. I don't think Carlos is for Melody, and I think that's why it's important to have a spirit of discernment. We all have
yes.
to be careful. A smile, a hug, a genuine pat on the back, it feels authentic. But every day we wake up, we have to ask God to give us discernment because all of us can be tricked. Nobody's exempt, not even
Absolutely.
Melody.
Nobody. Nope.
If you go
You're
back and
right.
watch the reunion, when he asked Melody, "Are you enough?" Because even though he was talking about coleslaw, and he was talking about how maybe she was more than Melody. If you go back and watch that same reunion, and they questioned Miss Van about the Mark situation, and Miss Van said, "We were just friends." Go back and watch Carlos. He interjected and he said, well, it's okay because you grown.
Yeah.
I mean, and you have a right to do what you want to do, as if insinuating, whatever. I don't believe you. So Mark did an interview, I think 2 days ago. Go back and watch that entire interview. And unfortunately, I don't remember the lady's name. It was like over an hour. Does anybody remember her name?
Is it the gray haired chronicles or something like that?
Oh my God. If you watch that interview, he told on everybody. He said that they had been trying to get him on the show for a while, even Carlos. He said, I didn't have to say anything. My brothers were advocating for me. Kimmy coached him. He called out Kimmy's name quite a few times. Kimmy and Maurice coached him. Wow. He said that Kimmy had told him, wait, we're working on it because we know when you come on the show, we know what you're going to do, but we're working on it. We're working to get you on the show. Like all of them were working against Melody. And it's very sickening. Carlos knew. Yeah. Melody didn't even know. And if you think about Carlos and what he says, he has publicly declared that he and Melody are close friends. Now, I don't know where y'all are from. If I go to a party and somebody that has stalked me and harassed me is going to be there and my quote unquote close friend doesn't give me a heads up, I'm going to have a problem.
Yes.
Yep. No, we going to have a problem.
No, it's going to be a problem.
Yep. Yeah, so that's just my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, it ain't no. I'm gonna have that problem. Me and my friend gonna have the problem because we walking in somewhere together and you already know what's going on and I don't know what's going on. Oh baby, ooh, it's on then because
like he led her to the slaughter.
Yes.
They did it the same way. They blindsided her. They knew exactly what was going on and didn't give her a heads up.
That's what I've been saying all along.
I don't know. They all knew. I don't know who platform I was on, but can I say a name? Is it okay if I say a name? Aunt Ann? I think it was the Silver who had said, when they were sitting at that table and they were talking about Wanda, and Kimmy had said about they should put a rein on their brother or something like that. And I believe the Silver was the one that said that was the introduction for them to bring Mark, like to tell his side of the story or something like that. So they try to make Mark be like the crazy one. No, Mark is not the crazy one. He's like, they met him in the park. They wouldn't even let him, come to sit down to Black's to have the conversation, to sit in their backyard to have that conversation. They sat in the park with this man. So whenever Mark get a chance, Mark is going to tell whatever it is to be told. And what he said about Kimmy, I can totally, because if anybody ever listened to me on another platform, they know what my feelings are towards Kimmy. And so when Mel cut the grass, all the snakes start coming out. She already saw them, but the grass was cut, so they came out even more. And my thoughts about Kimmy, I just leave it there because she's, going through a little something right now. So I'm going to leave her alone. I'm just going to leave her alone. But
she, I tell you
earlier, though, the fact that I'm sorry.
Didn't I tell you earlier that Kimmy and Maurice was the ringleader? This dropped to me a week ago. Then somebody else sent me another message in my DM 2 days ago. Somebody else sent me another one today and said, Auntie, Kimmy is her and Maurice. They set everything up. They're the leaders. Y'all think the wrong person. I said, no, I've been saying that from day one. I said, all they got to do is look at my videos. I said it from day one. I said, y'all think these people is slick. I said, I'm going to tell you who the leading leader is. They told me I was wrong. I said, okay, but I'm going to send you back to those videos because I know I seen it. I know how they move. And he always had to advocate for somebody else's relationship. And Carlo ain't worth nothing neither because I believe Candy. When Candy came out and said it, I believed it.
Yeah. You're absolutely correct, Aunt Ann. He said it out of his mouth. He and Kimmy had several conversations. Last thing before I jump off. Listen, If you want to change the show, everybody that's listening, start addressing own network. I've learned that at first when I was mentioning Carlos King or hashtagging Carlos King in my reviews, that wasn't enough. It wasn't until I started saying his own network ruining Black excellence that I noticed that Carlos started to give a response. So from here on out, when you hashtag Carlos King, hashtag own network.
Okay.
Because they don't care as long as it remains our problem within the Black community.
Correct.
But as soon as we bring their name in it, they don't like the shame, they don't like the embarrassment, and then they don't like the coverage or whatever, the scandal that comes with it. So start hashtagging own network.
Okay.
Now,
Which is what Monique has been saying all along. Monique has been saying that all along. Call Oprah, call all of them out, because they know the narrative in the way they're going about doing the show. You can't have Black excellence when every last one of our show. Can we even name one show where we can say there was Black excellence and no scandal? Just name one. There aren't any. There aren't any. We can even look back on The Young and the Restless from Children. They're still going strong with all the Luke and Lord drama. They didn't lose people. Nobody got hurt. Yeah, there was cheating. It was just a soap opera. But dang, you mean to tell me we can't have one successful show where we actually win? Not one. Everybody knows. Say that again.
None. They're not gonna do that, and that's across the board. That's in the music
It's
industry.
across the board.
It's
across the
I think
board.
K. Michelle spoke out on that before. Now
She
Kanye West
did.
is speaking out on it. She said that they wouldn't pick any song from her album unless she was talking about crying and cheating, a man cheating on her, or a bad experience. None of her positive music. They always push that narrative on our community. And Kanye West is speaking out on it, even though he says some other crazy stuff. But some of those he making a lot of great points. He's speaking the truth now.
I'm glad you said that.
He is speaking the truth. And if I sat down and listened to it,
yeah, he sprinkled some crazy in there, but he's speaking truth though.
Yeah, you have to
And
listen to her for yourself.
Charleston White is as well. You know,
for real.
I love Charleston White. I love what Kanye is saying. Now, sometimes you got to squint your eyes and move in close on Kanye, you know, because I do truly believe this young man is clearly before his time, but in a prophet in a way, because when you listen to what he said back before, we was like, this boy is crazy. Then you look at it today and you're like, wait a minute, didn't he say that? And even that, what's that other kid? Orlando Brown. They're really exposing the foolishness where Black people are concerned in Hollywood and any other entertainment platform. We're always the buffoon.
Yeah, what they do is they always mask the truth under, that's a conspiracy theory. Look at how they all these years over extraterrestrials. They used to have them show the shows X-Files and all of that. They told us it was fake. Now recently they're like, yeah, we do have Area 51. We do have this. We do have that. Because all they have to do is tell us something and we believe it. But if we do our own due diligence and our own research, we would know the truth. Kanye and Charleston White, they're speaking truth when they say we're the true people. That's why they hate us. That's why they keep suppressing who we are. That's why we can't ever pinpoint who we are as far as nationality when it comes to the others coming to Africa. That's why they always start our history at slavery. We weren't, some of the people were born on the ship, but that's not where the people started. Exactly. We came to greatness. Believe that.
Yeah, even
we
when
have
they show
always
Africa,
been our own
look at
worst
the way
enemies.
They show Africa, how Africa is. They make us believe that they living in huts and teepees, and they still, and it's beautiful. Absolutely. And they have beautiful cities and cars and lots of money, just like every other place. But that is not what they show us on television. They don't want us to see anything real. So it starts with the people the companies. She's absolutely right. You need to put it towards
y'all look up if y'all look up, and obviously do your own due diligence, but if you guys look up the old map of Africa on the slavery coast, there was a
And
place
how it
called the Kingdom
connects
of
to the
Judah
yes,
and the
Awesome.
Kingdom of Benjamin
yes.
right there. That's where we come from. We're the lineage. We are the people
Yep.
that got dropped off in the Caribbean, in the United States, in South
Jamaica, all
America.
of it. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
we are the true people. That's why we have been kind of casted down. You see that they do the same thing to Haiti now. When it comes to Haiti, they don't want anyone giving them any type of money, any type of anything, because they were the first to get freedom and then free other islands and such from their slaves, from their slave masters.
Well,
So they
well, they
always,
took their own freedom with the
yeah,
Haitian
they took their
Revolution.
own and then they helped others.
Exactly.
So they always try to, shine a bad light on them.
Right.
That's what they do to us. They don't want us to know who we are. They want us to feel casted down. So they always try to feed us that we're the bad people and we're this and we're that. No, absolutely not.
We
And
don't want to know who we are. We don't. I've never met so many black people, and I'm from Louisiana. We don't want to know who we are. We quick to say, I got a grandma who was on the left side that's Blackfoot, and everybody. I never met so many Indians. Everybody got a
Everybody want to
little
be, yeah.
Indian. Everybody
yeah,
want to. You know what I'm saying? And every
Yeah.
time I meet
Yeah.
black people and I'm looking at them, I'm like, you're not Indian.
Well,
Ain't
I
nothing
remember,
about you
I
Indian.
remember one show that BET had, and it was just one show segment where they brought in all those celebrities from mostly the love and hip hop franchises, and they all found out. They did a blood test and
Oh
all
yeah,
those things,
yeah.
the ancestry. There was a one show that I was like, this is awesome. This, it was really awesome for them to find out where they came from, and they gave them their name, what their name could. They picked out a name rather, of what they could be and all of those things. So that was really good to see. And it was really trying to get people to go into ancestry and look up their heritage and try to figure out where we're from. Because that in itself is very powerful to know that.
It is
And
to know who you are.
to know who you are.
but it's partially the thing with ancestry.com as well is they go based off what the region is now. But I don't feel like they know directly. Like a lot of the African Americans and the people in the Caribbean, they'll show probably majority Nigerian because that's where um they say a lot of our people came from, that area where Nigeria is now. But what we have to do is our due diligence and look back to what it was called before it was Nigeria, or you know what I'm saying, like whatever
All
era
right. Yeah.
you're in. But yeah, it's if we walked in who we were, if we knew who we
Come
were
on.
and walked in it, I'm telling you, all of these killings, all of this, listening to rap that's talking about killing and hoes and this and that. Sorry, excuse me if that's not allowed on this platform, but just the negativity. We be like, please, why would I do that? But because we don't
Mm-hmm.
know, we've been taught that we're nothing. That's why you could go in any other community and you won't hear the stuff that we do to each other. You won't hear other communities doing it to each other. Like,
I'm gonna
not to
tell you, it's gonna
You
take
get-
us. It's
Yeah.
gonna take
It
us.
takes us. It takes
absolutely,
us.
Exactly. We can't wait on no one
absolutely,
else
Yes,
to try
it
to show
takes
us the way.
us.
It takes us
exactly. It
to
takes
go out
us
to
to
It
the
stand
takes
up.
us.
community to do that.
Right.
And if we do that, that's all we need. But I'm tell you who's buying those records and who's showing up to those concerts. And it's not us that's buying the records.
That,
If they was
that,
millionaires and billionaires, it wouldn't be behind the black dollar. It is behind the
mhm,
other people. That's why they didn't want their children coming up listening to Tupac and them back in the day. And it was such a big
mhm.
ride because that's who's buying them records. That's who's buying those records and showing up to those concerts and everything else. But as far as
Yes,
us eating up this reality TV and thinking about this is a lifestyle, oh yeah, that's us. That's
yeah.
us all the way.
Yeah,
Excuse
it
We
me,
got
is.
some other
excuse
ones,
me, ladies.
but it's us.
Is Mo still in here? I have some question to ask her.
Oh
Can you
yeah, Mo.
please, can you please come up, Mo? I need you.
Mo shined the light on a lot of things for me the other night, boy. I tell you. And you know what? Deep down, I kind of already knew that, but I guess I needed somebody to say it. Especially about Tisha
Do
and
that.
Busto. We already knew that, but yes, the confirmation was everything.
I mean, it was
So are they
everything.
shedding any light on Marceau's older child with the cousin? Is this a real thing on Ann?
No, they say that's
No,
not
no,
true.
that's not true. I
I didn't think so.
said it, that's why I was saying everybody looking at the wrong is not the child that
Correct.
did. Everybody looking at the wrong child and they're looking in the wrong direction. It's nothing. The
Yeah.
child is not even in Alabama. They need to go to. I ain't gonna say that. It's in Atlanta. That's all I'm saying.
Where his car got stolen, right? Spend that extra night.
Yeah, you
Allegedly.
still out
Let's
on
put
that.
allegedly on
Allegedly,
it.
right? Allegedly,
Sound
allegedly.
like insurance claim to
Allegedly
me.
stolen.
He got
Sound
a
like
lawsuit on. That's why he probably said it was stolen.
He got
If you get a car,
repoed.
if you get a truck stolen, why would you go on social media and tell everybody your truck is stolen? That sounds dumb.
that's why I don't believe it. I think he
Those
talked.
cars so smart nowadays. Them cars smart. The police could look up and see exactly what a truck was. If they was
All you
laughing,
gotta do is turn OnStar on and they go to the car in minutes. Sound like insurance
uh,
scam to me.
and if they was
Just
laughing,
turn
they
the
knew that it was
OnStar,
some upset.
activate OnStar.
How you doing, Patricia?
Hey, how you doing? And the
Fine,
ladies.
you?
I'm
Hello.
truly blessed and highly favored. I'm coming in with just a couple of comments on uh relationship with Tisha and Marceau. And I have gathered because I've been watching this show from jump one. And I gather that they are in a contract marriage because I don't see no affection, no hugging. And when he touches her, it's like she despises him.
Yeah.
And also, I noticed another thing about Mel and Marceau. We got to remember, Mel did never enter her marriage being broke.
True.
Mel entered her marriage already with wealth. She come from wealth. Miss Van is wealth, and she's not putting it out there. Miss Van is not putting it out there, but they are not hurting at
No,
all.
they sure not.
And Miss Van just bought all of that property that she now selling off, making more money in Huntsville. That 37 or 38 acres that she recently purchased 2 months ago, Miss Van is now selling. Did y'all know that?
She sold it?
She's selling off acres.
Okay.
She
Yeah,
didn't
she
sell
making
it off.
money.
She is selling off acres.
That's
Other
smart.
words, she bought the property, so now she's turning the money back over. Investment.
Mm,
That's what she's
that's
doing. She is investing.
that is smart.
Sounds about right.
That's how
Yeah,
you
that
I
do
is
knew
it.
she
smart.
sold that $1.2 million mansion out there. Whoever mansion that was, she sold. She's definitely making a name for herself in real estate. But again, everything the Scots claim they do, you don't see anything. The only thing the Scots were able to produce was a bottle of 25 cent wine in a franchise they call in black. I mean, they haven't produced anything.
The one's not
Well, the
even there. They
Scott,
just
excuse
relabel
me,
new
the
product.
Scott is only putting their label on already production that's been out there for
Exactly.
years. Okay,
Exactly.
just like Martell is doing, but Martell can't proceed on his idea of his wine simply because there is a judgment against Martell because of the name. The name was already out there, and Martell is using that same name, so therefore they is in court about that name, Arnett.
Do
wine.
we really believe Martell is not successful just because of a lawsuit in the name? Martell has completely destroyed his image. Nobody's supporting Martell, even if it wasn't the name. He could have named it Martell. The
But the
cookbook didn't
thing
go
is,
nowhere. Nothing he
but
has is going
no, no.
anywhere because he don't have Melody behind him. If he
But
Facts.
was
see,
smart,
the thing, excuse me, the thing is being in business and trying to get introduced in business, you got to come straight up and clear. Martell did not do his work. Martell just
he
decided
never
that if
has.
if if Marceau can do it, I can do it. But he did not check because see, most things that you see, they have a patent number. You just can't jump out there and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to put my name on this. You have to check the register. You have to check into your court system what is out there and what's not because I am a business owner, been there for 35 years and
Even
now
after all that,
retired.
nobody's going to support Martell. He's a nasty individual. He can be
But
selling
still,
life's dreams. Nobody's going to follow Martell because Melody was always the mastermind. Martell is not
that is
intelligent.
true. That is true. And I understand that.
The
But
Melanie.
business wise, I understand exactly due to all respect. I understand where you're coming from. But what I'm saying is Martell he jumped out there with his foot first and he not did no kind of research. And therefore, that's why you have not heard anything about the wine and the selling and what's going on with Martell because he cannot proceed any further because it's under scrutinizer right now about their name.
Then what's the
That's
problem
why
with the cookbook? Why didn't the cookbook and the workout videos make it? This is karma,
he just
karma,
throwing stuff
karma.
out there.
And he is
Martell is
blocked.
just throwing stuff out there right now that he think whatever he throw against the wall will stick. But I do not know as much about that cookbook and that exercise and all that. I do
All that
know
was
about
before
that
the
wine.
wine. All of
I
that was
know.
before the wine. Martell is
I
just, he's cursed
understand
now.
that.
As far as
Nobody's going to
business,
support him.
Martell should have went out there and did something that he's passionate about. It's not coming
Yes.
Thank
across
you.
because he's
Yes.
not passionate about it. Now, if
Yes.
he would have
He's
stuck with
not.
the working out,
Correct.
he is passionate
Yes.
about working out.
Yes.
He could have come out. I'm gonna
Yes.
tell you what's wrong with
He
him.
could
He
have.
should have came out and made a public apology to his
That's what
wife
I'm
Thank
talking
you.
and
about.
That's what I'm
own
saying.
that and
Yes.
own
Karma.
that and control the narrative and turn it
Yep.
around. And not only just to make a narrative, he needed to mean it. That's the mother of
He
his
did.
children. He needed to mean it and make a public apology and turn
Because
his
nobody's
image
going to
around.
support him. You're right. Nobody's going
Now,
to support
everybody
him.
make mistakes. I'm not gonna say that the man is
Right.
doomed for the rest of his
Everybody make
life
mistakes.
because he made mistakes within his marriage. We don't know
Yes.
what's going on in real life in their marriage. Only they
Right.
know. He needed to
Right.
come out, and since he acted a fool in public, he needs to make a
Yep.
public apology
He
in order to
does.
turn this stuff around. And he needs to
He
get
does.
rid of Melanika because if you can't even spell the INS or whatever right on the publication that you're
Come
printing
on.
out for your client, you didn't do no due diligence for him to make sure that that name wasn't registered before you went out.
Well, see,
Melanika
You
can't
that's
need to.
even put her
that is
Gucci
my
belt on right.
point.
Every time
That's her
Melanika
job.
come
That's
on the
her job. Now
camera,
he can come with all the ideas. It is her job to coach him and to get him
it
in the
was
right
her.
niche
Thank you. It
and
was her
everything
Okay.
else.
job.
He don't
Excuse
have to
me,
have a mind for it if you
ladies.
gonna hire
He
somebody.
don't. He don't.
I understand that, but how can you can tell what's going on with her trying to check into the background of Martell, which this is her job to do, but she is trying to keep a low profile because of her stuff is out there too. So she's trying to keep herself where she's not being noticeable for the stuff that she is doing and have done. So therefore, Martell is jumping. He's not waiting on her to let's go.
But then
Don't
that's
do
stupid
this
because that's
and
what he
don't do that.
hired her for. In
But
the
see, that's
real
what I'm
world,
saying. Can
Melanika,
anybody tell Martell what
in
to
the real
do?
world, Melanika would have been fired and sued. She, in her position, it is her responsibility as his publicist or whoever role she trying to play. She was responsible for running the business, just
But she
like
didn't
Melanie
tell
was.
Martell to do that. Martell did that on his own. Martell jumped out
But she
there
didn't
in
do
the boat.
anything.
Let me say, Martell jumped out there on his own besides her checking into what's going on. Martell needs to check also. You don't leave all this up into one person to check on what's going on with your project. Do you think Mel is the only somebody that oversee her project? No.
Melody says she has a team. Martell
She
don't
has a
have a
team.
team. But
Martell don't have a
Martell
team.
has one. He has Melanika. You can't sleep with the
She don't
person you're
work for him
paying.
on certain things. That's what I'm trying to get you to
But she
understand.
was involved in the wine. She was involved in the wine.
But she stepped back after that
I
incident
never
went
heard that.
down.
I never heard
Yeah,
she did.
she stepped back because of the fact that all that stuff came out about her and what those lawsuits and what was going on with her. She moved, she kind of like wanted to quiet everybody down because everything had took the focus off of Martell and the focus was being on her about what she was doing that was illegal. So she
Melanika.
pulled back. Yeah. She just came back up.
Melanika
If you
has
take,
lawsuits. Wait, babe.
yes,
Melanika has lawsuits. See, I
she
thought
had,
Melanika backed up
no,
because she got exposed for sleeping with Martell.
No,
Did
she
y'all
no,
know?
got
no,
some
no.
lawsuits
She got
for
exposed to things
real
that she was
estate
doing
fraud.
illegal.
Oh, real estate. Real estate. Okay.
Yes. And that's why she pulled back from Montel because she was getting too much exposure and she couldn't afford that at that present time. When you saw
But
her
didn't she put
again,
together the party? Didn't she put together the
no,
launching party?
She
all
did
that was
all of that, but
way,
that was a couple months ago. That was months ago.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
way
that's what I'm
before.
saying.
That
But
was
that's when the
way,
mistake was revealed. Wasn't that when they
no,
revealed the name and stuff was spelled wrong?
listen what I'm saying to you. This is what my this is what my Nika pull had to pull back because after she started to get into uh
I think it was
publicity,
after that episode that she was speaking about.
she had to pull back
Yeah, that
because
article
her
came out.
name was out there and she was it's a lot of stuff that she was hiding that people did not know. And then when she
Wow.
came forefront, that took the attention off of Martell, and she didn't want that to happen because she was going through her own thing. So that's
Yeah.
why she had to pull back. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, that's when you saw her with Martell and this land that he's on somebody else's property. Okay, talking about trying to build something. How he gonna build? He don't have a builder's license. He don't have a permit. So he's on somebody. He's trespassing. But she knew that.
Did you say trespassing?
Yeah, he was
Trespassing.
trespassing.
I'm done. Not the
And
trespassing.
Monica was standing out there. She knew. That's why she was laughing. She knew what time it was. But see,
With the
she
upside down Gucci belt. Did y'all catch that? Melanika got dressed so quick her Gucci belt was upside down.
yeah,
None of these people are intelligent people. Melody ran all of Huntsville and they know it. Melody is
yeah.
a force to be reckoned with. They can all dig up whoever they want to dig up. They're not going to be able to accomplish what Melody has done. And I think it's like the other sister said, none of them really have a passion for it. They just want the money. They want the money, they want the fame, but they don't get
They
the
want the
sacrifice of it all.
they want the fame. They being lazy and trying to secure the fame. But the thing is, like they've been riding on Melanie's coattail for how
Yep.
long? And Mel
Yep.
now saying, no more. You're not finna ride on my coattail no more. So this for now today, Tisha, Marceau, because she already say out her own mouth, if anyone has to go, she rather Tisha and Marceau to leave because they don't bring anything to the show.
Who said that? Melody?
Melody say that out her own mouth.
Well, wait a minute, y'all. Let me ask y'all, where y'all getting this from?
Rewind the
I thought
tape.
we was blacking. No, babe, I thought y'all we was supposed to be blacking. I'm not watching the show. I just come here ATN and catch the back
No,
part. So
I've been
y'all
watching.
watching
I
the
watch
show?
everybody's
No, I'm not.
review that.
No, I'm
I
not
watch
watching
everybody
Blackout.
review that have reviewed Mel
I
for the
watched the
interview.
My
So
review
you
will be
getting it
out.
from the
Excuse me,
review.
y'all. Hold up a minute. My review will be out on Monday.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes, I look at it on YouTube probably tomorrow or
Yes.
Monday. But I do mine a comedy way. So we do hee ha ha over here. You'll be
Ha
on the
ha, that's what I catch.
Your
I don't
stomach
watch
be
the show,
hurting.
period.
Okay.
I just wait for the hee ha ha part. And
Yeah.
then I
Okay,
catch
well, I
what
have
she
watched.
puts in there.
I have watched everybody's review, and I did not want to come on because I kind of like I'm on a person that I listen and I try to see what they are not saying and what they are saying. I'm like in between the lines. And Mel spoke. She wanted some things to come out. She was dropping some genes. I don't know that people pick up on it because they so enthused that Mel is speaking. But Mel be saying things that you need to just listen instead of talking. Just listen to her, and she tell you things that she just can't come out and say because she's under contract, and she cannot go against a contract. So, like she's saying
Tiffany
that,
Lewis to me got the first vote.
but she didn't say. She said she would
Tiffany Lewis
rather
got my
if
vote
anybody had to go. That question was asked. If anybody had to go, who would you rather see leave? She said, well, she hesitated. She said, well, she thought about it. She said, well, personally, mine. She said it and made it point and clear. She said, I would rather see Tisha and Marceau leave because they don't bring anything to the show. What do we know about Marceau and Tisha?
We don't know the truth. We don't know the truth.
Okay.
The truth
Besides, they've been
about
breaking land for how many years? And the house ain't been built. How many women that you can't talk about? How many times that Carlos would not bring up his contract because of the clauses in his contract? I can go on and on.
We don't need to go on about them because they don't went on.
We don't need to go on and on.
But the thing is, this is a reality show. This is a reality show, but we don't know anything about Tisha and Marceau no more than they lawsuit, and we had to dig that up. But what is going on in their real life? What business, what buildings they have built, what apartments and houses that they have built, but she say and proclaim that she's a $1 million company. What $1 million company that they pertaining at this moment and has been pertaining out of all these years?
We know that.
If you guys remember the episode when Tisha first got into real estate, working for that lady, and she was able to secure that multi-unit complex for Marceau. If y'all remember, Maurice broke out in tears saying that he was so happy that Marceau finally caught a break in business. So that's a no-brainer. We already knew Tisha and Marceau couldn't have been doing no businesses. They were barely working. They were working for Scout. They were working for Melody. They were working for Melody. I'll never forget that scene because Tisha, he bad as he didn't want Tisha to be independent. Tisha was the one that really got Marceau the break he got as a contractor. It was all his wife. But you see, they hushed that up. He didn't bother no more with her. The only business I know she got into was what? Property management. Now all of a sudden she got these $1 million companies talking about Scout. Well, that was Martell and Melody's business that they brought them in on. That was their business to give Marceau a job because they were big, borrowing, stealing, and then Scout was created. They didn't know the business. So Melody brings her mama, Miss Van, in to train everybody. Tisha at home, laid up looking stupid. Wanda was nowhere in the picture. Wanda didn't come along till Tisha got some money and got on camera, i.e., Marceau was always saying, why your mama always here? She didn't used to come here, remember? Wanda wasn't involved in nothing.
Nothing
Wanda
at
was
all.
never involved. And the Scotts never had no money. Maurice, we don't know what Maurice was doing, but we know Kimmy was a nurse. What really did Maurice do? He was a forever student.
Right.
Collecting financial aid. He wasn't working anywhere. Then the next thing we know, Melody then got everybody put together, and all of a sudden we forgot that Melody was the one that opened the door.
Mel brought all of them to the table, and all of them was eating. Okay? Everybody was eating. But what Maurice did that broke the camera's back, when he said that he was bringing his ex-wife, moving her to what he's at so he can be with his son and pay her rent, and she got a husband, and left Kimmy out there on the porch crying. Okay? That let me know right then, that's the control that he has over Kimmy. And Kimmy is sitting, and she gonna do whatever Maurice say Kimmy is gonna do, because she is insecure right now, because simple fact is her age and the way she went into this relationship.
Okay, wait a minute, y'all.
Okay. Man laughing.
I'm laughing. It's the chats.
Now, that's what's going on.
What is she laughing at?
It's the people.
Wait a minute, let her catch her breath, because she is cracking up.
It's the
his ex-wife. His ex-wife, and pay her rent.
Be quiet. I'm trying to hear what ATN saying. She's choking and laughing. What happened? What happened?
Is anybody else out there who want to get up here and talk?
I need a fool like that. I need a fool just like that.
And then we gotta have a reunion.
Just like
we gonna need a reunion of your lives. We gonna need a reunion of Aunt Anne's lives and get all us characters together and work this out. We need a cruise. We need a get together and a meetup spot. Let's see what Melody build now by way of centers to get all the bloggers together and have a panel, because
that would be awesome. I would make a trip, because I'm looking for somebody like Maurice, a fool.
I'm looking for him to do what? To do what?
Maurice got no money, baby. You better be looking for Kimmy.
Do you want to come up?
Wait, you want Maurice to do what?
I guess he gonna mastermind like he been doing.
Pay my
That's all he
rent
doing, because he
pay
not
my
the
rent
money.
and my husband.
Maurice ain't paying nobody's bills. Maurice wasn't paying that. That was Kimmy's money. The only solid money in Maurice's house was Kimmy's. Maurice wasn't making no money. He was a student.
That's a slam dunk. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
They say
that's what I'm trying to tell
to the table. At least he had established black or whatever, how little or small it is, and he has some type of office to show. We have
that's a slam dunk for
Maurice
me.
Didn't have no money.
Show an office, show him doing anybody's credit. Where have we seen it?
Thank you.
We have never seen that
Here's
live
the
on
reason
television.
Kimmy would not quit her job. He wanted Kimmy to quit her job, and she said, no. I'm not quitting my job. She wasn't quitting that job because she know they were not stable. Maurice couldn't take care of them.
Ladies, what man in his right mind gonna go to his wife, and tell his wife, I'm finna move my ex-wife out here where I could be closer to my daughter or my son? And
how about this? What black people do that, period? Who you know black doing that, period? Ain't nobody black moving no ex across town with their husband to see no boy. And second of all, he didn't even discuss it with Kimmy. He let Kimmy know when they was in the air that they be here in a few minutes. He didn't even consider her.
No,
girl, don't. And I don't know nobody black come about. I'm bringing my ex and her husband in
I
town.
don't even know no white. I don't even know no white us Hispanic gonna do that bull crap.
Okay,
but that sounds like TV.
I want to say something to everybody out here. I just want to hope everybody vote in Georgia.
Oh yeah, please vote.
Please, y'all, please vote.
If you don't, out here, Texas.
If you don't do nothing else, y'all, please vote. Go out and
vote in Texas too.
In Texas,
vote in California. Vote
in California. Everybody just vote.
Because y'all got it bad in Georgia. Y'all have it really bad. Got it bad in Georgia, y'all.
Everybody, please go vote, because if you don't vote, you can't make any changes. I'm just asking everybody to please vote. I really appreciate it.
The show or not? Is Wanda still going to be on the show or not? Do we know? Huh?
Wanda is Wanda.
What happened?
Your phone cutting out.
Oh.
An phone cut out.
Okay. Everybody, can you please push the like button? I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe right now. I appreciate it. Subscribe, push like, leave your bell on, ring-a-ling-a-ding. What happened?
Something with
we lost connection.
Oh, okay.
I want to say this about Wanda, y'all.
What?
For Wanda, I'm older than Wanda. I am way older than Wanda and Miss Van. And due to all people that I know in my age group, ain't no way in the hell I would be running around no doggone truck trying to hit the EP of the show.
Well, first, you act like Wanda is somebody with some sense or integrity.
No, I didn't finish.
Wanda is not. Wanda been fighting her whole life.
But
that's what she had to do.
But
that's
let
who
me
she
finish.
is.
Let me finish. Okay, when Carlos put them diamond shoes on her foot, not her feet. When Carlos put that diamond shoe on her foot, she turned into Cinderella. She thought that she could do whatever and say whatever she wanted to say because he opened that door for Wanda. And
I don't think so.
Yes, he did.
I don't think so.
Yes, he did.
Kiki said, as children, they were not around Wanda's family. Wanda and them's family, even Marceau said it. Those were people from the other side of the tracks. Wanda and the people of Wanda's family, they weren't just
It don't matter what diamond shoes he put on her.
No.
It don't matter what diamond you put on her foot.
We all grow up.
Say that again.
Wait a minute.
Say it again.
She's still the cafeteria lunch lady. It don't matter what kind of diamond shoes he put on her feet.
That's right. We all grow up. And it's up to us.
Is who she
is.
Is.
Up
you
to
cannot tell her
us.
nothing.
That lady is who she is. That ain't Carlos, honey. That's her. Yeah. Wanda been like this woman didn't raise.
Is any bloggers or YouTubers want to come up on the platform? Please hit the link. I appreciate it. Thank you. We'd like to hear what you have to say as well.
Yes.
Wanda is, I understand that that's the way that some people, because I can relate to where Wanda coming from. Been there, done that, lived that life. But it's up to you, on the other side of the track, being without let me finish, please.
It ain't the being without though.
But you
We talk
got
about
to
her
you got to let
ignorance.
you got to let me finish. What I'm saying to you, I understand where you're coming from, due to all respect. What I'm saying to you is, I never lived in a life of luxury. I never lived in a life where people was giving me stuff. I went out there, I stole, I took, I was conniving, and I schemed. But I also learned that if I want to do better, I got to grow up and leave things alone. And that's what I did. I grew up and I went and made some out of myself. I am a proud owner of a daycare for 35 years. I own my own business. But I had to turn from that life. I didn't have to live in that life because this is the way I grew up in. You got a lot of people grew up in poverty, but that doesn't mean that we have to live in poverty. You make a choice. And that's your choice that you want to grow up and stay where you want to be well known, that I'm a fight, I beat you down, I'm this and I do that. Then that's the life you're going to continue to live. You can put on all the glitz and glamour you want to, but until you make up your mind that you want to live a life differently, then that's the way you're going to die, because you ain't trying to make a change in your life. And that's how I feel about Wanda.
But you got to realize, yes, you got to realize that to change, you have to want to change.
Want to change.
Amen.
See,
thank you.
Lady,
exactly.
This lady is evil.
That's the difference.
And then she talk about God.
Yes.
But see,
everybody talk about Jesus ain't going to heaven.
But see, this what she don't understand is God kicked one of his best angels out. Because
he sure did.
Because he wasn't going to take over his kingdom.
Right.
So, I mean, she just evil. This lady is evil. She don't have not one good bone in her body. Good evening, Miss E. How you doing? How you doing, Miss E? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm doing well. I was using my buds, but they didn't work.
Yes,
hello, everyone.
Hi, how you
doing?
Good
evening. Good evening.
Well, good evening. Well, I wanted to come up, and the first thing I'll say, I grew up in Bessemer. And I do know the Moors. And
okay.
The main thing, and I've been away from Bessemer for years. I don't live in Bessemer anymore. But I will say this: there's a mentality in Bessemer.
Come on.
And if you don't get out,
yep,
or don't educate yourself, I mean, you don't grow.
That's
what you all are seeing.
Yes.
You continue to stay there. And if you noticed on one of the episodes, I think they were trying to speak with her, and she said, "This is me. I can't."
She sure did.
She sure did. She really believes that she can't change because this is all she knows. And she said, everybody's gonna think I'm fake if I change.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mentality of most of the people in Bessemer. Not all, but most. And if they don't get out or educate themselves, that is the mentality. And I sometimes think, I say, if they had only, you know how you get a job and you do a background check.
Yes.
And just did maybe just not necessarily investigate it, but just kind of find out a little bit more about I want to say the psychology or the psychological part of the people that they bring in. And I guarantee if they had known that, she would not have been on that show.
I agree. I said that too. They would have
And
never had her on the show.
now that's just my personal opinion. I have nothing against them because, like I said, I have not been in Bessemer since I was a little girl, as far as growing up in Bessemer. But that's what I see from looking at the show, and I know a lot of people in Bessemer that are still there, and the mentality has not changed since I left, you know, and that's what you're looking at. But I just wanted to say that, and also about Mel, what I noticed about her is that she put in the mind of Job. She has that patience, and
Amen.
and I just feel that she's sitting back and she's gonna drop one by, and I'm sitting here watching them, watching for her. I just feel that she's just sitting back. She's patient. She's not in a rush.
Yep.
She's hey,
Yep.
there's one down and five to go.
Yep.
And so it's just that's all I have. I'm not gonna hold up. I just want to get in and say that. And yeah,
Miss E, I want to ask you something. So you do know Wanda and them?
well, I don't. Well, put it like this: I know them as children. I don't know them as grown-ups because I've been away from Best a long time.
Has she always act like that as a young child?
Well, I'll say this: most of the children that were in Bessemer, and I'm sure that anyone that has grown up in the projects, any project, they fight.
Yes, they
I can
do.
say that, she wasn't different than any other child that grew up in South
Correct.
projects. They got into fights. That's what they did. And so I'll say that.
Because I never seen nobody that mean before. She is truly mean. She's hateful. She made
She's not love.
she made a video about Me Too video, and I laid her out, and then she just like what she's gonna do.
Can somebody mute their mic? We can hear y'all background.
Like what she want to do is fight me and bite me to there. I just didn't understand it. I was like, this lady don't know nobody. She's just mean.
And see, it's back to the mentality. And I don't know that
Yes, it
part.
is.
I'm a grown woman now.
No.
With a grown child. So, my personality doesn't even flow that way. And so I can't really speak to say, hey, this is if she's always been that way. The only thing I can say as far as, as children in the projects, you got into fights and,
Gotta fight.
some were more messier than others, and then you had your quiet children too. Not all children, got into fights, but
you had your groups.
They fought
because it was like Peyton Place. It was survival, fighting and scratching and carrying on.
Well, I wouldn't say that because back then, when I'm in my 50s, so when we grew up, it wasn't as bad in the projects like it is now. It's just you may fight because you're bored. It wasn't like you were in a gang or anything.
You fight because you just didn't like the person.
Yes, exactly. So it wasn't that type of thing where you have gangs fighting against each other. No, and that at all. It was just some, excuse my expression, some bad A children. That's what they used
You walk down the sidewalk and feel like, I don't like her. I feel like I want to fight today. And you jump out off the porch and you go fight.
Well, some children were just bad.
Yeah.
If anybody ever had a grandmother live to sit around their grandmother, hear her say that's a bad A children. But that's how I would describe them. just
and we had to fight to survive.
Bad children. They was just bad.
We fought every day, not one day, every day. It's a fight. It's always a fight. I'm always fighting.
Bad apple. Go ahead, Miss E.
I'm sorry. To answer Miss Ann's question, I can't answer to what happened between being a child and becoming an adult.
Okay.
So much could have happened, and that I do not have a privilege to know. But I will say that I do know a lot of people that are still in Bessemer that I grew up with, and the mentality, they may see me and think that I'm what they call male bougie. And it's not that you're bougie, it's just that your growth has not been stunted.
Yes.
They
Your
think
growth
you're bougie because you know how to put a sentence together and conjure up a verb. That's bougie to them because you speak proper English.
well,
They have no clue what that even means.
and you just people sometimes think that you're supposed to stay the same for 25
Yep,
years. You're supposed to
correct.
grow, supposed to change. And I think that's just that mentality that she has, in my opinion. But I'll step down. I know some other people want to get up, but I wanted to say that. And you're doing a good job. I enjoyed your live tonight. And I'll be looking. You may see me sometimes down there as Thrifty Girl, but
Okay.
but I put
Thank
this
you.
in here. You're welcome.
Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. How you doing, Bad Apple? What you got to say?
I'm good. How about you, Auntie Anne?
I'm
It's nice
fine,
to.
and you?
I'm good. It's nice to be on your platform tonight. I'm a new subscriber, a recent subscriber of yours.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I just wanted to expound on Wanda. Wanda likes who she is. She doesn't want to change.
Yep.
Wanda is having fun. And this is probably the most fun and the most attention she's ever had in her life.
Say
You
it.
know, to be on TV. She had Tisha, I think she was like 14 or 15.
14.
Yep. 14.
And the lady who was speaking previous to me, she spoke about growth and mentality. And when you have a child that young, I think it does stop the process of you growing out of your childhood. I don't have any children myself. And I know a lot of times when people who don't have kids, you're speaking about people with kids, it can be a little bit like, how do you even know what you're talking about? But I just think, you can look at different people's experiences and see how how they're interacting with their grown children, and you can tell what they missed in their own life.
Yeah.
And you can tell, like, to me it looks like Wanda missed out on things that normal teenagers would experience. Like wasn't able to do the kind of dating that a normal young woman would. Maybe she wasn't able to to have the kind of friendships that Tisha has, or that those kind of the female camaraderie. And it just disturbs me how she gets to hang in her daughter's circle and be in and interfering in her daughter's like, I don't know, like it's weird. It's just so weird that she's always so up in the mix with her daughter and her friends. And it's like, why don't you have your own life? I don't think she was able to really develop her own life and her own sense of where she belongs. It's like you have a husband and a boyfriend, and you're toggling between these two men, and you're toggling between, being younger and being older. Like, it's really weird. Like, she's confused in her life, and this reality show has kind of given her an outlet to act out things that she probably has always wanted to do.
I don't think she's confused. I think she's trying to confuse us.
There it is.
And
She
we
not
not going for that.
confused.
She ain't confused. That lady got
She's
a
not.
husband who don't want to be with her, who sleep in the room
Thank you.
down the hall.
Thank you.
He didn't want to
Absolutely.
put years ago, and that's it. The lady before her, she told the truth. If you didn't get out of there, that's the mentality you have. She was
That's what it is.
in Bessemer. She never had any willpower to leave. Most of the people I know that had kids early, I kind of looked at them, and then as I got older, I said, dang, turn around, look around. They got their stuff together because they had to. They done got houses, they got married, they got good jobs going and been on them for plenty time, plenty years. Before the people who didn't have kids, they had the opportunity to play around and mess around longer while the other people was getting their stuff together to take care of their children. So I just feel like she is who she is and she wants to be that way. She don't find nothing wrong with being who she is and being that mentality. She's fine with being the lunch lady. She's fine with being messy, running around in everybody's business, and she is living her best life out on television. And that is Miss Wanda. Now, she playing around in her friend circle. She might not have matured, but that's on her. I don't think that has anything to do with her having those children there because she gave them children to her mama, didn't she?
She didn't raise none of them.
I feel that at 14 years old, you had time to date because you got a baby. Okay. And for as going on with your life, it was a choice that you made because the simple fact is living your life, you live your life the way that you want to live. Now that you didn't exceed it in your life, you trying to live through your daughter and you trying to program your daughter and doing things that you want her to do. And Tisha basically is just like a puppet for you because Tisha is not really living her life. She living Wanda's life. Because see, anytime if my mother was to come to me and tell me some bull crap that if my man want to cheat, put him out for a couple of months, and after he act right, then I would let him come back in. That's just like giving a child a lollipop and say, don't bite it. That's misleading your child. You're not establishing in your child a growth. You is hindering your child to take what you done took. And
it's clear Wanda never had any dreams. So if Wanda never had any dreams, Tina did what's her name? Tisha clearly didn't have any dreams. So in their mind,
dreams. She got dreams, but my soul is trying to kill her dreams.
She just like Destiny, she want a handout.
My soul is killing her dreams, y'all.
He's not killing her dreams. She wanted a handout. That's what it came down to. They didn't dream. If they would have dreamed about their life, and just because you're 14 and pregnant don't mean you was dating. Sound like to me it was abuse. Because
but I'm talking about it's a difference
14.
between I'm talking about Tisha and Wanda. Wanda.
No, I'm saying Wanda wasn't dating. Wanda wasn't dating. Wanda was a 14-year-old surviving, and whatever little man gave her a sandwich and some TT, that's as far as her little mind was able to equate. TT and something to eat if she got something to eat. So she wasn't dating, and she's just ignorant. She was never taught to dream or taught she could get out of Bessemer. She wasn't taught that.
Well, that's what I'm saying about Tisha. Tisha is at a point now where we know you can look at her expression on her face. Tisha is not happy, but she got to stay in that marriage. It ain't because she wants to be there. It's because Wanda wants us to be there.
No, she said
Wanda, let me finish.
No, ma'am. Tisha wants that man. Tisha equates marriage with success.
Hold on for a minute. Y'all cutting up in the chat. I'm hungry to put y'all on time.
Somebody said, somebody help me. Stop, Mr. Brown. We ain't supposed to be saying. But man, look,
y'all cutting up in the chat.
Wanda, she just like Wanda.
Y'all got me over here crying.
Just like her mama.
There you go.
She just like her mama. A man means success, however bad he may treat you. Because if you got a whole husband down the hallway, who really winning? Him. He don't have to pay attention to you. He don't have to do nothing but let you go and get that lunch lady check. He don't have to contribute to you. And same with Tisha. Tisha was in there cooking and cleaning while Marceau was pretending he was working.
But Mel brought her out the house.
We know that.
Mel the one told her that she needs to come out that house and show her what was out there in that world.
She repaid her. And look how she repaid Mel.
Exactly. But look who was in her ear.
Been out the house stealing lipstick.
Look who was in her ear telling her what to do.
Breaking windshields.
Who that is laughing?
Like
who laughing like that?
Tisha is fooling you on that show, baby. She been out there.
Ain't she in that
whenever she want to leave that house. That is.
Say it one more again. Say it again. She can leave. She don't want to.
All that education that Tisha got, it took Mel to bring her out the house. And once.
Is anybody want to talk? Please hit the link button, or we're gonna get
after Mel went to get her out the house. My soul was so upset with Mel because Mel came to get Tisha out the house and introduce her to new business. And what happened? As soon as he realized that Mel was introducing her to new business, he got upset.
Hey, y'all, Miss Anders talking.
I keep on muting her. How the hell she keep on getting out?
Who that is?
Take off.
Who you trying to mute?
Nobody.
You had anything else you wanted to say tonight?
Hi, Auntie Ann. How are you?
How you doing?
Detroit is in the house.
Detroit, all right, Detroit.
How you doing, lovely lady?
I am great. I am great. But I'm going to say this. Tisha doesn't have a mind of her own. She allows her mother to be in her business. She allows her mother to control her marriage. She allows her mother to hang in her friend circle.
Yes.
True.
I'm going to say it again. My 13-year-old can't bring me no baby.
Say it again. Yeah. Say it again.
My 13-year-old can't bring me no baby.
That's a mentality.
My 13-year-old
I can't eat.
Can't hang in my circle.
Say it again. And
my
you're not going to hers.
Can't hang in my circle. And my 23-year-old, if she decides to go out there and get the baby, she better be able to take care of it. Because
That's all it looks like.
And mine better not bring me nothing in the house that I can't eat.
I'm going to say it again. Mel was trying to save her. And
Mel tried to help.
Yes.
Tisha asked for the help. Tisha asked, but because her jealousy, when Tisha went to Mel for that help, Melody helped her. Marceau got mad and told Martell, keep your wife out my marriage because she got Tisha thinking she can be all she can be. That's what happened. Tisha went for the help.
She just don't know how to use it.
She didn't know how to use it.
Because see, if I was her, my kids would be in the after school program while I'm working. My husband would be meeting me on bills, cooking dinner, be picking the kids up from school, half on everything.
Half.
If it ain't half on everything, he better be paying every bill.
Oh, okay, that's my line.
Cause I'm gonna make sure
Tisha was He wanted Tisha in the house as a housewife.
Tisha don't have a life. She's too much in her business. That's why she got her husband sitting at home and a boyfriend on the other side of the train track. And you
I
see
don't even believe it.
Won't come out because he embarrassed by her.
I don't even believe it.
I want to say this. They are not portraying their real lives. Tisha and Marceau are not portraying their real
Thank
lives
you. They're
on
not.
this
I don't
show.
believe it. I
That's
don't believe
true.
And that
none of
is
it.
the bottom line on that. I feel
And I
like
I
and
didn't
I have
believe it.
family. They just don't know I have family right down there. My family is
Marceau might
all
be
through
showing his true
Montgomery,
self at certain
all through
points.
Black Belt,
But
all through
Wanda is a
Huntsville.
mascot. Tisha is
Thank
dragging her.
you.
Tisha is dragging Wanda in as a mascot. She's a joke. She's
That's
a
what it
party
is.
clown.
Yeah.
That is why Maurice sit up there and say, "Oh, Wanda is my favorite." He
Yeah.
loved Miss Wanda. Wanda is my favorite. They all sit up there and laugh and kiki about the things that's come out of Wanda's mouth. Look at how Wanda acted when she went to Jalen's housewarming.
Yeah.
It was dull and boring until Wanda walked in the door and she come in there with nonsense. Who buy their shoes out the box?
What happened?
And I feel like she was tipsy
And
too
then
when
you
she got
She
there. She had
was.
already been drinking.
She was, but they look for her to turn up. Some of that
But
stuff
you
that
know
I
what?
do
That
believe that Tisha is sitting back, just like they say that Maurice is the mastermind. He sits back and plants, and you can tell from the moment he sat up there and pulled Marceau to the side and said, "Your family." Maybe he was looking like he was feeding him the words to say, as if you're going too far. You are on camera. Let me remind you, you are
and
on
if you
camera.
pay and if you pay
Okay, so he is the
Martha
mastermind.
attention,
I believe that Tisha is masterminding Wanda. She feeding
I
stuff
said
for
it too.
Wanda to say in the background. And then when Wanda get there,
Yep.
Wanda has the outgoing personality. Tisha
Yeah.
is smart, but she just don't have the
Tisha is feeding her
personality to
mama.
go with
I'm
it.
going to drop everybody down. I want to speak to Titanic because Titanic has more information. She got some
Oh
information.
yes, oh yes.
okay, go
All right,
ahead.
y'all have a good night.
All right, you do
All right.
too. Miss Black Titanic, can you hit the link, please? Miss Black Titanic said good night. Is Miss Black Titanic still here? Thank you for this super chat. I guess you're gone. Anybody else want to say anything? Have their opinion before I end this live? Because we've been up here for 3 hours. I don't think Wanda's not going to never change. It's just who she is. She wants to be seen, but she's going to be seen at the gorilla cage she keep on. Because they're going to that's where they're going to lock up. Allegedly, she keep on acting crazy. They're going to put her right in the crazy house with the gorilla. Did y'all know Pookie want me to interview him? You know what I told him? I told him to kiss a gorilla butt and climb the tree. I ain't got time for him. He would never. He tried to get everybody to interview him. Anybody there? Anybody want to come up? Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Finding you. How you doing, Miss Debbie?
I'm all right. I'm a new subscriber. I've been sitting out here in the chat listening to you. I
Thank
missed the
you.
I missed the beginning. I love your live. Congratulations on all your success. I missed the first part of the live because I guess we're like an hour difference from where I'm at and where you're at. And it's
I'm
a
gonna
lot of new
post
people.
it. Yeah, I'm gonna post it because it's a lot. I'm telling you, it was some lot of tea spilled, and a lady came from Bessemer up here, spilled some tea. We had a lot of people spilling tea today. Just go back and watch it. There's a lot of stuff that y'all did not know. I spilled the tea so much it got on the floor.
I imagine it did because, with so many new people coming in and we missed the tea and have to go back and watch it. I can't wait. But what I want to say is this to Kimmy, and it's really more or less a question. How can you let a man tell you to quit your job when he don't have one? And you take him and put him on your house that you already have, put him through school, and then be submissive, and now you're sick. He tell you to quit your job, and he don't have no job to pick up the slack. I just want to know where they do that at. I've never met women who would do that.
I didn't either. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
And Tisha Marceau.
To me, it's house cap. It's just that these people is fakerism. They always faking their whole life. And they're always doing stuff wrong to people and always coming back to them. Now people figuring their mess out. They get mad at us. Don't get mad at me. I'm just reporting. I'm just reporting what was reported to me.
Well, who cares about them getting mad? I also saw an interview with Basement Billy.
Mm-hmm.
Now he likes to taunt, torture, and torment women into submission. Something's wrong with him. He needs some real help because there's no way. I don't blame Miss Van. I believe it was a friendship. I would not claim him. I would not make him or make him think he could shame me into claiming him.
She ain't gonna
He's
claim
a bully.
him. He's a bully. Like I said at first, I've been with my friend for 2 years and we just friends. And he'll tell you she'll tell you I'm too old for a boyfriend. He'll tell you, I said either we get married or not, but I'm not ready for that right now. So you are my friend. So now I tell people, they said he come talking about do a friend buy your plane ticket. Yeah.
Yeah, my niece bought me one for my birthday. They do. My birthday was this month in October. She bought me a plane ticket.
Well, he walk around here like he been chewing on razor blade.
Man, it's crazy. And I agree with you, Aunt Ann, when you're friends, because I had a friend. We were just friends until he got out of his place.
Well, look at him. Will you claim Pookie?
No. I would have Pookie take out the garbage. Men like that, I stay away from because they they more trouble than they're worth. He's just more trouble than he's worth. He don't even look that good. So, he's just more trouble than he's worth. I had a friend that thought he could tell me, well, he told me, I'm tired of standing outside your house when I come. I need a key. I told him, you need to stay your ass at home.
Yes.
That's a deal breaker. I haven't spoke to him since. That's been over a year ago.
Twist and tied.
Tested and tried.
Yes. How you doing?
Yes, ma'am. Good. I was saying I agree with you. You know that you can go only but so far with a person like whatever the gentleman's name is, and you don't claim him. That's the Pookie. That's the kind of guy you keep him in the background, but you don't never take him to the parties. You don't bring him around your friends. You don't bring him out. He's good for just whatever he was good for Miss Van at that time. And he got himself a little confidence and thought he could come out of his face. But He's not the kind of man any woman would ever claim.
Well, since he's done a few interviews, he's done got cocky, arrogant, and really thinks he's the man.
He already was that way because he pulled a woman such as Mrs. Van's character. Because he was able to get a woman like her, he really thought he was relevant. You know, I always say we all at some point in our life have slummed it. That might have been her slum moment. And he got comfortable and thought he was somebody, you know. So the fact that he's not being acknowledged or even claimed by Miss Van, he's going to feel a type of way.
But Miss Van was just friends with him. And people, men, when they have mental issues, you can show them a kindness, talk nice to them, and they'll take it the wrong way.
And that's
I've
why
worked
it's
in the
best
mental
to
health
keep
field,
it
and I
limited.
have saw it 1,000 times. You can just be polite, and people will take it the wrong way and think that you really like them and that they really mean something to you, and you are really just being polite.
Yeah. I think lines were blurred for him because he was spending the night at her house and she was spending the night and they were taking trips. We don't know what really happened in this Miss Van's story, whether she chooses to tell it or not. But that man is more hurt than vindictive. He's hurt because he just was not claimed ever.
But what I don't get is he said it wasn't serious. So he said she was getting serious. So what's the problem?
He's lying. I'm telling you, that was a mental issue.
She didn't claim it. She didn't claim him when it mattered. When they got on the reunion show and they tried to throw her under the bus with the nude tapes and the this and the that.
I just didn't understand it because my thought is that he keep on lying. He said that something. What did he say? He said that then he said somebody messed with him in the military. But he told us a while back that it was his mom dropped his mom off in Compton on a bus or something to go see his dad, and some other guys did. It's just like my point. Then he want Miss Van to say, "Oh, we had a relationship," but you say you don't want a relationship.
Those are mental issues. When people have issues, reality is whatever they think it is at the time, because they don't have clear thoughts. And they think things and they think it and they try to make it true, and it's a reality, and the other person don't even know what they're talking about.
Oh, Jesus.
This man said he was in the Army. He said he was in the Marines. I believe if he was in the Army or the Marines, all he was doing was peeling potatoes.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Well, I'm ready to end this live because I'm tired. I know it's that late. Somebody told me to go to bed. Nurse. He said, Auntie, Nurse Light said, oh, thank you, Auntie. Go to bed. Well, I'm going to end this live. I appreciate everybody. We have fun over here. We pray over here. We get a lesson. We have hee ha ha. I'm doing my review tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I'm doing my review Monday. And I do a comedy one. And trust me, it's comedy. We have fun over here. We don't do drama. We don't do... He said we're happy over here. So this is what my platform is all about. I want somebody to get a lesson out of it. I want, if somebody going through anything, I pray for them. Then they'll tell you, I stop what I'm doing and pray for them right then. They'll say, Auntie, can you pray for me? I would do it in the comments. I would do it on live, do it anyway. Because if somebody asks you to pray for them, stop what you're doing and pray because they need it. And I'm all about Black queens pulling together instead of apart. If my sister say, hey, I need help, I need this going, I'm going over there, and I support each and every one of my queens platform. I have audit notifications, and I sit there and look at, I don't care how many commercials they get, I sit there and look at it because they're my sisters. I'm going to be there for them. And I love them with all my heart. I'm just trying to bring something different to YouTube because it's always this fussing, this fighting, grabbing this way. I want this enough for everybody to go around. I want to help everybody. And it can be done. You don't have to be arguing all the time. It can be done. And it will be done. So I thank y'all ladies for coming on my platform today. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to drop y'all down and I'm going to end this live in a few minutes. Thank you, ladies. I want to thank everybody for this live today. I really appreciate it. And I had some more tea for you next week. We don't know where we're going to be at. We might be on somebody else's channel and we might be right here because I got 20 more DMs to open. Like I said, I run 2 businesses and I don't have time to open, but I will sit and open them tomorrow and see what kind of tea in them and bring it back to y'all. And as always, y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Subscribe, push that like button, ring-a-ling-a-ling. Y'all act up in the comments. Y'all ain't never did this. We had company today and y'all showed yourself. We had company today and y'all showed off. We're going to have a conversation tomorrow. Taja. Girl. But I love y'all. Good night.